All right, folks, welcome back. Thank you for waiting patiently, and special thank you to everyone switching the camera in chat to Dave and I as we're trying to
No
prepare.
privacy, just candid cam
seriously.
anywhere here in the apartment. We got views on the dog, we got views on us, we got views on the players. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. First series was great. This series, though, should be very, very close. Yo, Vinchester, two players that always seem to deliver some entertaining sets, and they're both playing amazing Age of Empires right now.
And I think, arguably, like if you look at their past, Yo actually has a really good record against Vinchester. Vinchester hasn't taken a set from him in almost 2 years.
That's crazy.
But Vinchester, I think, has been the hotter player.
Yeah.
Recently, I think he's been the better player. And we were watching him in practice, and he seems really, really smooth right now. And Mr. Yo maybe going through a little bit of a dry spell recently in terms of his 1v1 performances. So I'm expecting big things from Vinchester. And when we were talking about like spicy predictions, right, all the casters and the players and stuff, a lot of people were under the impression that Vinchester might be top 4.
Yeah, I think he could be. I think he could be. He like the way he's playing, just like the way he carries himself, just feels like, oh, this guy could easily be top 4. And I think confidence is a really big thing, right? I know it's kind of rare to come to a LAN event, and I've just had another $20,000+ tournament end recently, but like Vinch being top 3 in Wandering Warriors Cup, it's got to feel good, right? Got to feel good, and there's got to be a lot of confidence there. Same thing with ACCM when we see him later, like he's got the champion vibes right now. So yeah, I think it could be good. I think the big thing with these two is the draft.
Yes,
it's really big because Yo has certain civs, certain styles that he'll play that no one else will play. Mainly like certain unique unit styles. Anytime it's a cavalry unique unit,
his draft is unique in and of itself. Like Yo's draft, you can differentiate that from any other pro player. He goes for comfort picks. He doesn't go for technically the best civ on that map. Maybe it is in his impression, but no one else's. He goes for his comfortable picks, and this draft is actually a little bit different in that they ban 4 civs each, and then they draft their first civ before even doing the map draft. So it's very different from a lot of other drafts in tournaments.
And that's just funny, right? When you got Yo, it's like, okay, what civ would Yo pick before any of the maps are selected?
Burgundians or Lithuanians
or Spanish
or something like that.
or Mongols.
Yeah, there you go.
Or Mongols, yeah. So there we are. We've got our draft, and it was first pick Mongols against first pick Japanese, which is interesting. And then, again, from there, they would get the map sorted, and then they pick the rest of the
I actually like Japanese quite a bit as the first pick. Like, you look at a lot of the maps in this pool, if you have an idea of what you're going to ban out, if you want to ban out the land maps, suddenly Japanese are very good on Pacific Isles, high tides, tide pool, African reed beds if you get the fish boom going. Like, Japanese is a really solid pick, as well as Mongols. Like, you can basically use Mongols anywhere where there's hunt, and there's hunt on any of these maps.
Yeah, now, trying to think which has the most hunt. I guess the map that has the most accessible hunt would probably be high tides.
High tides, or you could use them on African reed beds to get a really, really fast start as well. We've seen that before, right? So it's, you could even, like, you could make an argument to use them on Copenhagen just to get to late game, but I think you're missing out a little bit on the water.
So, yeah, Copenhagen has that water aspect, so I think maybe Italians there. I still think Chinese are insane there. And then Vietnamese we've seen dominate there, so that's probably what Yo's going to do.
This is interesting, though. This is not a standard Yo draft for me. Like, he's missing Burgundians. He doesn't really have a lot of strong, super strong cavalry civs there either. So maybe it's just an adaptation to this map pool. But Mr. Yo is generally the guy who likes to play knights, right? He likes to play the forward siege. He likes to boom up behind. He likes to go unique units like the Coustelier. It's one of his favorites. And Vinchester actually has that pick. So Vinchester with an interesting draft, a little bit more unique than Yo's. And it's not like saying Vinchester is a standard drafter either. He always mixes in at least 1 or 2 surprising picks.
Huns is staring at me right now, and that's just not because of my obsession with them. But, like, I think there's a lot of potential with them. Like, if they get going, especially in messy situations, they can be very strong. African reed beds.
African reed beds is the one I'm looking at.
We could see, like, CA there. We could even see, you know, Knight play there. High tides, maybe some extra flexibility on a map like Tide Pool. Probably not with Japanese and Byzantines out there. But, I mean, it is a nice pick to see there for Vinch.
I think the only one that's like a sure thing for me is probably Burgundians on Copenhagen. And then everything else you can kind of mix up a little bit. I would think Mayans on high tide, if anywhere, because the rest are water hybrid maps, and mines aren't really favored that much. High Tides is more of a land focus, even though you do have to fight for the water early.
Well, what Tato did with Incas can be replicated with Mayans on that map.
A little bit of a slower start.
Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely more difficult to do, but you have that extra Ville. It's still pretty efficient economically there, so could see that being possible. But listen, I'm not going to share things. We've had the luxury of being in the back room looking over players' shoulders. And so the last thing I want to do is come in here and just immediately shout out what I've been seeing, right? And then have somebody get pissed at me.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that I've been watching a lot of Pacific Isles games, and they're absolutely insane, right? A lot of these training games, it's so cool. It's such a fun map. It's like Migration, but a little bit more awkward and difficult, I would say. And it's already a very difficult map in the first place. So I hope we have Pacific Isles in every single series. We already didn't have it in the first one.
Yeah.
But I want Bypass as well, dude. Bypass
is amazing. Unfortunately, we don't have it on this draft.
Yeah,
but I've been talking to people, and I think they really like this generation of Pacific Isles, because a lot of the players have identified that as a very interesting match, which in the past it wasn't necessarily. It was just a pure water map. But the 9 villager starts means that you can get to the land earlier, and it becomes this contest where you're trying to control those islands in the middle. And suddenly you have towers everywhere, you have navies, you have fast Imperial Age strategies. Like, you've got a lot of different elements you have to work through. And we will probably see it in this series, so we'll get a good idea of how it's going to look going forward.
It's a fun map because there's not a lot of fish. So on other water-dominant maps, if someone wins water, they then gain the eco lead with the fish. But now you can actually overinvest in the water, and then you just don't have access to resources. So we'll see. We'll be into the first game here shortly, but obviously Yo's been the favorite historically. But you think that's going to be the case here? I mean, it's day one of the LAN.
I think Vinchester is my favorite going into this.
Okay, I
think that. Just purely based on current form.
Yeah.
As we see our countdown right here, and we're going to get into the first game of this match between Vinchester and Yo. It's going to be on... I've already for Tide Pool. Thank you. Thank you, Tristan.
I could see you looking down at the mini
I was looking for the map name, dude. I was looking for the map name, and we found it. Now, Tide Pool is very interesting because you have the pond in the center. There's sand in between, but you can't sail over that.
Yeah.
So you have to make a decision really, really early whether to dock on the outside or whether to dock on the inside. And just based purely off of these civilizations, I think Mr. Yo might opt to go for that backside area rather than contesting the Byzantines in the middle, and there we go.
I mean, you've really got to think long and hard about how much you even want to be on water long-term here with Romans. Romans don't get demos, and then you're up against Byzantine fires.
Yes.
So it's like there's two things here that make you not want to prioritize water, in my opinion. So they're both going to dock the outside. But long-term here, I would really look to see Yo try and shift his eco and everything towards the land. And even then, though, the Byzantines are just so good.
Well, I think it kind of follows the pattern of these two civs IRL. Like, the Romans have to win early because the Byzantines are going to be around for a while. And in Imperial Age, the Byzantines completely clear the Romans. There's it's not even close.
I do think I haven't seen Centurions against Byzantines enough, but I think the cost of Centurions is too expensive to be.
You can't justify them.
Yeah,
you really can't. You'd rather go for Cavalier, I think, at that point.
Maybe. So, and I really think, like, how many games are we going to see get to imp on this map? Like, we'll see.
If they do, I will point out, I've seen some crazy games in Imperial Age here. Like, if they make it, it's really insane, and it's all about castle positions, where the extra stones and golds are, and who's controlling that middle water, because it gives you so much pressure. Like, the outside water gives you a little bit, but the middle water gives you so much land advantage there.
We could potentially see drawmans from both of them as we shift Yo into the red here and Vinchester in the blue. That's a bit easier to see. So we really need to pay attention to their scouting right now, because players may be greedy, pushing in some deer, as Yo is doing right now. But you do need to look for those docks, and you can see Vinchester's scouts being proactive.
He's looking whether Mr. Yo has docked the middle.
Yeah, and if he doesn't see a dock there, he's going to be very happy that he's also docked the outside.
Exactly, and then you have multiple approaches you can go with Vinchester. You can go aggressive with the Byzantine fires and count on better water, or you can play defensive as well and just count on winning all the 1v1s. with the fire galleys, and you just expand your fish a little bit. It looks like they're up at around the same time, although Yo has about a 20-second advantage here. That's not going to be enough to let his fire get all the way to Vinchester's dock. If he does scout that, like he was pushing the deer really
Yo doesn't
early.
know. Yeah, Yo's scouting is just not great in comparison here. He is going to be able to use process of elimination. Okay, now the colors flipped somehow. How'd that happen? I don't know how that happened, but the colors flipped. We're going to work on that for you. That is Yo's scout we are looking at, and he has not seen a dock. And Vinchester knows that Yo hasn't docked the middle, and now Vinchester's going to see
spot the barracks.
So Vinch is potentially going to clear water if Yo doesn't realize what's happening.
And look at the sneaky dock from from Vinchester forward.
Oh.
You can barely see that up against the edge of the map on the right side. So he identified that Yo docked the corner because he scouted the middle area and he didn't see a dock at all. So now there's a forward dock coming from Vinchester north onto Yo's fish right there.
Yeah.
And he's going to sandwich these fish from both sides. So a really, really solid approach early from Vinchester. And Mr. Yo is just going for one fire in defense. That's not enough.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He's thinking that he can maybe match one fire from the west. But he doesn't know that it's going to be a fire ship sandwich here from Vinch. Again, this is the confidence we've talked about with Vinch. Now, what Vinch should try and prioritize is getting a barracks up. In order to get the ships out and go for the double dock, you simply delay the barracks. So there it is. He'll need to prep some spearmen at home here.
It's like he heard you.
Yeah,
it's like he just knew. You can sense, right?
He's pretty good at the game, so I wouldn't have expected that there. So eventually, how much Vinchester actually wins water is key here. If he completely takes Yo off of water, he can then go up to 6 to 8 fishing ships, but you can't count on doing that right now.
Yes. I also wonder, like, what's the timing? Because you have to manage everything, right? You have to manage the water on the outside, the land pressure. What's the timing for docking the pond in the middle? Like, when do you stretch out there and try and get fishing ships, or do you open with Navy there?
I think the first dock we'll see in the middle was maybe from the player who loses the outside. Whether that's to kill the opponent's fish there. This is nice for Yo. Nice defense. But yeah, or to catch up in terms of fishing ship numbers if you lose the fish on the outside.
Another fire is coming from the other side while Yo is chasing this away. And that's why the fire ship sandwich, as you labeled it, is so deadly, right?
I'm not even certain Yo knows exactly where the initial dock is from Vinch in the first place. He might be very confused, just simply based on the fact he got a fire come in from the right side. Okay, so colors have flipped back. You guys pay attention, people. We're making sure that you're with it here. All right, you guys aren't awake yet. Get your coffee in and pay attention. The colors should be good now. Vinch back in the blue and now Yo in the red. But yeah, there's confusion from Yo. The one thing he does know is where the land is for Vinch, but he hasn't been able to find any kills so far with these scouts. Yeah,
the spearman is chasing after it, and Vinchester finds the dock villager from Mr. Yo. We saw this a lot in the game Dogao against Tato, where they both sniped the dock villagers, and he can't get that because Yo pulls back the spearman in time. And now Yo is trying to be as annoying as possible. He snipes the villager from Vinchester and gets away from the spearman. The spearmen found themselves behind the woodline chasing the scouts, and that's nice early damage there from Mr. Yo.
Considering the amount of production Vinchester's had on water, well done from Yo to hold on while he could. Now, he's going to lose his spearman, he's going to lose his fish, and so, as we expected, Yo is not going to have much water control to work with here.
He is going forward, though, with a range, and I think I see a dock coming down from Mr. Yo in that center area as well. So you were right. He loses the water on the outside, instantly goes to the middle, hasn't produced anything from that just yet, but he is looking to expand his fishing eco somewhere else.
There is a temptation now if you're Vinchester, because you feel you have the eco lead, to just fish and go to Castle Age. You think that defending with spears is enough, and that it's going to take a long time for Yo to get archers across the map. But that's why Yo walked this villager across the map, so the production is right next to Vinchester's base. Vinchester's going to try and click up here. He's not ready or prepared to deal with archers at all. He might even sell his stone right now to try and click up.
Well, the thing with this forward range against Byzantines, like, Yo's going to have to wait till he has a few archers, it feels like. Because with Town Watch, you can see those archers coming in so quick, and he identifies the fact that there's archers right here. I don't think he knows about the forward range, but still, the archers are a big problem, like you were saying. He did not sell his stone.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Now, this is also nice walling here from Vinch to stop the army from getting through. He does click up, but he won't have an answer to this army for 2.5 minutes. And Yo is just going to be knocking on the door. And Yo is fishing in the middle. So Yo has recovered very nicely, in my opinion.
This is the time window that the Romans need to expand the eco. They need to take advantage of that 5% early, right? Because in the late game, when you have 100 villagers, it's not going to matter so much. It's going to come down to the tech tree. And we talked about it. The Byzantines just have a far superior tech tree, especially with bombard cannons, which the Romans just struggle so bad against.
Yeah, and this is an area of the land where Vinchester's going to need to expand long term. There's a gold there. There's even an additional gold on the other side of that range. So
and there's nothing on the left side of his base at all.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a stone's over there, but really good spot here for Yo. Having said all that, Vinchester's still going to be in Castle Age in 60 seconds. He's got the food eco of the fish. And if Vinch makes 2 knights, he might be able to clear up this whole Feudal Age army.
Yep. Yeah, the timing advantage could be huge for him. But, I mean, Yo isn't that far behind either. That's just enough time to get, like, a couple knights out. And if Yo is careful, if Yo maybe even sends a few spearmen forward, you can see he's making spearmen probably in defense at this point. But he can kind of hold off those knights until he's got some Castle Age units of his own. And Vinchester is forced to go for a tower on the gold because he's too nervous. He's thinking that Mr. Yo might be able to sneak inside.
Yeah, and I think building that tower when your opponent is not actually threatening your gold right now feels a little painful.
And he pulls the villagers away from that. So he's going to save the stone. If Yo gets in, he tosses all the vills on the tower. If Yo doesn't get in, he deletes it and adds a second TC.
Yeah,
that's smart. That's really, really smart.
Yeah, you might just want to get rid of it. You could still build the second TC. There's the TC, and then you can get the stone back.
Yeah. That's a really good adaptive play from Vinchester once he committed onto that tower. I don't think a lot of people would have done that.
I agree. It was a good thought. But that's the type of thing that you get when the pressure is on, right? The placing the tower, the overreactions. But it was a nice shot from him to stabilize that. Now Yo's going to see the knights.
I don't think you can clear this with those 2 knights. I think you need some more.
At these knights.
There's a third one.
You can pull the weak one back here. That's a really nice save there from Vinch. And those archers could be goners here. We have crossbow on the way, so it's really important for Yo that he actually keeps these alive.
Look at him trying to get the knights interested in the scout. He's like, come back here, come back here. And Vinch is just trailing those crossbows. But now the spearman is here, and crossbow is going to come in, so he can't take that fight anymore. Mr. Yo does what he does so well in every single game. He holds the opponent's attention forward, and he adds economy behind. You can see that second and now third town center going up from Yo, and 4 fishing ships in the center.
Look at the resources collected. This is why people pick Romans.
Yep.
It's not, no one's picking Romans for the Scorpions. Sorry, people. They're picking Romans for the eco.
Great save on the knight. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and Vinch is going to have quite a few knights in a moment.
How many weak knights does he have back there?
Well, he's got one.
Like, oh my God, dude, 45 out of 500 HP. Unbelievable value there from Vinchester, and the Byzantine monk is going to heal this up really quick.
That's the most monk I need a monk moment ever right there.
Oh my, well, that's also deceiving, right? Because you're thinking, I got a big army. No, no, you don't.
Imagine playing without HP bars on or something.
That's insane, man. Great saving there from Vinchester. Third town center now going up for Mr. Yo. Eco difference, it's not too much, but it's going to start to scale ahead for Yo.
One of the weak knights went forward. He's going to send that back.
4 HP.
He's going to send it. He's going to try and send the other ones back, Dave. But like no bloodlines and no second armor means the knights do go down so
Saves
quickly.
Another one.
Look at Yo try and save the crossbows.
Does he save another one? Oh, so close.
Unlucky, actually.
The value on those knights is insane.
Can we get an update on the HP of the other knights though? Are they fresh yet? Where are we at?
They're in the healing farm right now.
Yeah.
The Byzantine monk is getting some good work done. Look, those ones are done. They're fully done, so he's moving them over, and he's gonna work on that one. He's got another one he needs to bring back.
Congratulations, you've been healed up. Go out to battle yet again.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, like, I think even Vinchester is seeming to realize that crossbow force from Yo is not his long term. That is just a distraction. And so Vinch is going to try and counter here. It's 54 eco versus 50, so very close. And again, Vinchester tries to kill the crossbowman. Will he save another weak knight? He will send another weak knight back. And he's going to kill the crossbows finally.
This is so good from Vinchester.
It's so good.
It's so good. I think a lot of other players would have had like 3 knights on the field right now because they would have committed.
Yeah, I mean, it's guys, this is the first game at a LAN event, right? You have to appreciate this. He's far from home, tons of travel. Vinchester had to take like 3 different flights, completely different time zone. And he's just with it.
And here comes the army that Yo thought he had basically nuked, right? Yep. Like he thought he had gotten rid of it because he weakened them so much, but they're all healed up and they're ready to go again. Spearmen are there for Mr. Yo protecting. He has more fishing ships on the way. He's got wheelbarrow coming in, second wood upgrade coming in. Like his eco is still scaling ahead, but I'm not certain that he's going to find the window that he needs against Byzantines. They can just hold so long.
I wonder if you can almost play map control here. Like you have that range on the other side, just distracting a couple knights, and then if you could maybe push pikemen siege.
This makes it tough though. You have to have pikemen at home to deal with that.
That's true.
And Vinchester just goes forward with a TC. I mean, it's definitely been a game changer the way he's able to save those wounded knights, because now he suddenly has an army and he doesn't have to keep investing into, more and more upgrades or another stable or anything to get the population up.
Listen, I feel like I've been saying this for 2 months now with this guy. Probably should be saying it his whole career. If Vinchester gets control with mobile units,
yes,
it just feels like you're never going to stop him.
He's
insane. He's insane. He's always in the right positions. And here he goes again, says, okay, I'll take that snipe, backs away, only loses a knight. And Yo needs, okay, he's got the pikemen now, but he needs something to keep up with those knights somehow.
Normally at this stage of the game with 3 town centers, in an ideal situation for Mr. Yo, he has a siege workshop forward. And he's keeping pushing your attention there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But now there's no attention there at all. He lost the crossbows. His pikemen are home in defense. His monks are home in defense. And he's just trying to expand his economy, which is great. But he doesn't have Vinchester busy at home. And Vinchester is free to come forward and try and kill his own villagers.
He is building up a lot of stuff. Just looking at the mini-map here as we see the knights come in, there is somewhat of a purpose from Yo there with some outposts and some pikemen. So as he's still got these different knight groups to deal with, and he'll pay attention now, Yo is gaining a presence there with the map.
Yeah.
And it's time to point out.
Look at the resources from Vinchester, though.
Yeah.
Look at the
Vinch could go in.
resources from Vinchester. And maybe he could even buy a castle and then
Did you see that? So Vinchester killed a monk with the one group. He's now going in to kill a monk with the other group. And he's going to get another monk in there. Vinch is just running around with these groups, and yeah, he's just looking perfect right now.
Yeah, and like you're trading with Byzantines late Castle Age, you're thinking about going Imp. You're not going to play into Paladin, most likely, right? So you're trading these knights for villager kills, and you're keeping Yo even further and further behind. And Mr. Yo, he's building that siege workshop, but it's probably 3-4 minutes later than he wanted it to come. And also he's getting War Galley. So he's just trying to get as much map control and distract as long as possible. Meanwhile, Vinchester, he could have clicked up to Imp by now.
Yeah. Yeah, Vinchester missing his building a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like it's castle v castle right now where they need to get access to the trebs. But I just want to remind people, the stone terrain you cannot build on. And the sandy terrain is also not really a viable area to build either. So you look at the map, there's not a lot of building space for farms or for castles even.
Great castle from Vinchester. That completely kills the timing on this siege push from Mr. Yo.
It does get awkward though. The pikes could find some picks. The knight got converted there. But I think the
pikemen don't even have forging. They're tickling these villagers.
Yeah, but I mean, would you rather...
I would not want to be tickled by a pike. No.
I was going to say, would you rather be tickled
I think that would be a piercing experience. Yeah, that doesn't sound good to me.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, Imp should be coming in. I think Yo should know as well now.
And now with the 2 castles, he's got a castle coming forward of his own, so now it's a race to Imp. Vinchester's still not up to Imp. Okay, finally. He clicks up. He's at 1,500 gold in the bank. He could buy himself another castle straight up right now.
Let's see, where are the stones accessible for Vinch? He should have, okay, so he's got that stone, and there should be another one.
There's another one on the far right side of his little island.
Okay, so that's pretty key here, because I think Yo has a stone castled now on the left, and then he's got that stone, and then he's got a stone he's currently on. So there's more stone accessible for Yo from what
Does Vinchester see with Town Patrol? Does he see that castle with the vision on his own castle? I think he does. It's insane. Yeah, he sees it. Oh my God. So he knows exactly what he needs to do here now. He needs to go for Trebs right away, probably get chemistry as well against Romans, and maybe even think about fast fire to just clear this middle area and get some Dromans out on the water.
You could also Droman from the outside.
Relics also coming in for both. Vinchester with his 3rd relic on the way. So those have been collected.
And Yo has collected more resources, but look at that KD.
That Greek Fire coming in? That's
Fire.
Greek Fire.
Let's go. So
that is not a tech that is gotten very often, and it's really, really good if you're going into fast fires because it's not expensive either.
Yeah, and I mean, Byzantine fires are already strong. Now with Greek Fire, what is that? Is it like extra range?
It's extra range.
It's extra range, right? Is it?
It's one
just
extra
+1.
range.
Yeah, just +1.
Which on fire battles, because they bump a lot, is actually really, really valuable.
Yeah, nice demo there from Vinch. Yeah, Vinch is not losing water here. With Greek Fire, there's no way. After that demo, there's no way. So it's kind of shifting my attention more and more to land, where they're both going to be an imp at the same time, and it's still just one castle for both players.
Yeah, 95 villagers for both, too. Good eco upgrades for both of them. Handcart just now coming in from Mr. Yo. No heavy plow there from Vinchester. Is Vinchester, I think, a little bit late on outposting this side? Mr. Yo has already made his way around there.
Yeah.
And he's going to find some pikemen when he goes out here to discover if Mr. Yo is building up. Let's see if he actually completes the outpost on time. He doesn't realize this is happening. The villager is just doing this on her own.
Yeah, maybe Vince just realized now and just clicked her away. Now she's dead. So Trebs are going to be out from both. Drawman's immediately queued up from Vinch. Now, I'm wondering, is he Drawmaning the left side? Because that left corner...
I think you go after the docks first, and then you get the left side. The docks are going to be dead, so you go left side.
Well, yeah, because like you could draw him in the middle and the outside.
Well, what are you getting from the middle? That's the question. Like, there's not a lot that's super close there.
Yeah, I mean, just...
Imagine the
you are asserting additional dominance is what you're doing.
Asserting additional dominance. AAD.
I mean, it seems like a pretty good game plan to me. Look at that spot that Yo has his Treb. I don't know if he's going to be able to get more Trebs there, but that is a really hard Treb to snipe.
I think it's also a really hard position to push forward from, though.
Yeah,
like if you want to get the Scorpions involved or your units or any siege, they have to go right next to the shoreline, and you can see that drone just on the edge of your vision firing away at that siege workshop, and now trying to work away on the Scorpions.
Knights coming out from Vinch.
Here it comes.
Save those up, but that Knight... Oh, God, it's good night for the Knights. Yikes. I mean, not really a unit that Vinchester needed long-term, but that's still not something he would have wanted.
That Monk took quite a path there. Yeah. The Knights couldn't follow, and the Monk has been kind of an annoyance here for Vinchester, as his castle actually has less HP than the Roman castle. I saw Masonry come in from Mr. Yo really early, so he wants to hold this castle for as long as possible. And there's a second castle war going on the right side as Mr. Yo tries to come forward, gets rocked by some big shots that the Scorpion's not providing enough value yet for Mr. Yo.
Yeah, now I think this is in response to Yo's castle, but Yo's castle is on the stone.
Get capped ram, he's got siege ram, here they come. The Dromans are there to back this up. The siege rams are pushing in towards the Treb, and this has to take Vinchester by surprise. I think if you would have asked him, he would have said there were Scorpions inside that siege workshop.
To go directly into siege ram is absolutely insane. That TC is gone, dude. Like, siege ram, the only thing that can kill those siege rams is the Vils. Nothing else helps. And so your eco is just taken for a whirl. Vinchester doesn't have access to lots of stone. Like we said, on the left side, even though Yo lost his castle, he can take more stone. The Trebs take the drama in there, and then the other castle that Yo just built is on the additional
And here
stone.
comes the bombard cannon. The siege ram is working away. Oh, it goes down.
Go
the pikeman's still trying to kill that bombard cannon. Another siege ram on the way. Vinchester needs to save that, and he's trying really hard because his gold income is limited now. He has to find something to do with those 30 villagers.
Yeah.
And
another ram. Like the rams. Yeah, like one ram there means that the Treb play from Vinchester is going to be extremely awkward.
Heavy Scorpion as well.
No way.
Heavy Scorpion ram. We ask how the Romans can fight against the Byzantines and the bomber cannons. You just kill them fast enough with all of your siege upgrades. This is a short-term strategy from Mr. Yo. This is not a long-term thing. As soon as we get more bombard cannons, as soon as the Dromans are available to snipe everything down, he's going to die. So he needs to do damage here.
That's my issue, is the fact that even if he can push with the Rams, he still can't stop the Dromans from taking him out.
Yeah, this kind of reeks of desperation a little bit from him.
The Siege Ram play was great, but Scorpions... Like, I feel like he needs something to kill villagers with, too. It is crazy, though. He's got 70% of the map, if you don't count the water.
Is he going to have that for very long with the Dromans able to just sail around and do whatever they want, though?
That's tough. It's really tough.
And it's not like he can take back the outer water either, because Vinchester still has fast fires with Greek fire patrolling around there.
Yo has trebbed down so many Dromans, but I think if you're relying on, if that's your counter to the Dromans, it's not going to last very long.
It's going to hit this time. It's going to hit this time. It's going to go.
It's going to miss. It missed.
Here it comes. It's going to hit this time. Here we go.
I actually believe... Oh!
No, he moved it. That's not fair. That's against the rules.
Well, the Siege Rams have posed a bit of a threat. Yo is still kind of holding a position on the left-hand side. He has had a lot of time economically, but he's lost that castle. He's up against galleons now, or sorry, just War Galley in the middle, and he... I don't know. I want to say he's struggling, but Vinchester's actually been the one who's struggling.
Corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have to start wondering soon, like, realistically, how much gold does Vinch have available? He doesn't have a lot of stone. We know that. How much even wood does he have available?
Wood is
long-term?
Yeah, or like farm space even, dude.
Yep.
Like this, Yo's got 144 vils, so he can afford to toss away some units here. And especially
not like
when
that,
units are
though.
cheap.
Can he really? No, not like that. Oh my goodness.
Not exactly what I meant. Just noticing that the pressure is added up on some small things you typically wouldn't see Vinchester miss. Ballistics not being in, for example. That had a pretty big effect with the castles, or maybe the ships that are out there. Yo's been able to get some docks down again. So he's going to try and dock now in the middle. Look at Vinchester's Vil queue. He's got 26 Vils in queue.
Yep.
So he's really just at the limit in terms of his multitasking because of all the pressure Yo's
And even like the gold that he's taking north of this battle here, it's ugly, right?
Yeah.
There's houses all over the place. It's not efficient. He's still trying to push in from the other side. Bomber cannons coming up.
Ooh.
Mr. Yo has not paid attention to his Scorpions here at all. He gets a lucky shot against the Bombard cannon, and hopefully he can get another one from his point of view as the Trebs are going down here. He is docking that middle area. He also dropped the dock on the outside, I think, on the south. So he's going to try and take control of both waters as Vinchester is busy with all of this stuff, and the bomber cannon goes down because, of course.
Yeah, that's frustrating for Vinch because he was even microing that, but he did still take 3 Trebs. He does still have that castle. More Scorpions going down for Yo. You get, like, personally to me, there seems like a big multitasking difference between the two.
Yeah.
That Vinchester seems to just be a little bit faster.
That is a big investment. He really didn't want to lose the water there.
I really think that the Dromans in the middle are going to affect this game massively, though. Like, that castle could potentially, maybe that castle's safe, but a lot of these castles, a lot of these houses, the monastery, it's all ranged from the middle water. So if Yo doesn't have water, he's got to break on land, and he's only lost ground on either side on land.
He has kind of stripped some of the resources from Vinchester, though. I know he didn't take that stone, but he was taking some other res on the other side. So even when he gives back the land, there's not going to be a whole lot there to take. But
That's
Vinchester reclaiming a lot of territory already. Like you said, it's more space for farms. It's more wood long-term. And maybe at some point he can take control of his villager queue that still has 28.
I have a feeling this castle could be denied from Vinchester. That's a lot of Scorpions over there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, but the Scorpions went for the Vils. They were not prepared for the Cataphracts. That's huge for Vinch. He's going to kill all the Scorpions again. He's got a Treb on the other side, and I just don't know if Yo can lose more space here, Dave.
I don't know if this is an ideal map for Scorpions. The pathing alone around these wood lines has been horrendous.
Yeah.
You just can't group them up. You need big open fields with them, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, Yo just hasn't had... Like, as Yo is losing these Scorpions, it's because he's looking at 3 or 4 other spots that Vinchester's hitting him. And so Yo just hasn't had an easy game here. Probably thinking about relocating his relics, probably thinking about what he can even do with his Civ. But kind of from the start, we said, if the Byzantines can last into the later stages, they have the better tech tree, and we are getting to that point where it's pretty clear.
Yeah, Mr. Yo is just continuing to make light cav and Scorpions. And I don't even want to see the trade numbers on, you know, how many Scorpions he's made and how many kills he's gotten with them, because it feels like every time we're seeing Scorpions, they're just dying.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're cheap, I guess, right? That's the positive. Still a little wasteful at times, and
Vinchester's out of stone.
True, but Vinchester will claim this stone if he takes down that castle.
Here come the light cav. that could make things messy for Vinchester. I mean, he's making a lot of different types of units. He's got a lot of population on Navy. He's got a lot of villagers still with 27 vills in the queue.
He might have too much Navy in the middle.
Exactly, and not enough to fight this back.
He's got like 17 fires. I don't think he needs
another
a fire
castle
ship.
from Yo.
What, dude? Mr. Yo is crazy.
Dude, he's not giving up, and he kind of puts that out of range of the Dromans from the center area. They can still range it from the outside, but, I mean, so far, Vinchester hasn't really had any on the outside, and so much of his pop is just mixed up in that Navy in the water.
If Yo can get Halb, he's still kind of... Just look at the eco setup on the minimap. He could still kind of keep Vinchester on a third of the land. And hope that the resources run dry for Vinchester. I'm amazed. Yo has actually taken the score lead here, which will mean a lot for the players, and Yo has... Halb on the way now with the Romans. That could be a really strong addition as Vinchester's going for camels in defense.
Yeah, Vinchester's had a lot of idle time there of just keeping care of his villagers in the base as the raids come in. He's losing territory on the left, but he is gaining on the right, and he still critically has that middle water control, which gives him access to everything along the shorelines. 2 more TCs on the right side from Vinchester. Not that he needs it to produce more vills, but it does secure that area.
Yo has lost so many castles.
Oh, so many,
and yet he still has more castles than his opponent. It's just because he had that map control, and he was mining all that stone. And I just wonder if Vinchester's starting to think, am I in trouble here? Like, is this a problem for me? You would think with the Drummond control that you would be in a better position.
And he definitely still is. Like, he's 40 population ahead almost.
Yeah.
Of Mr. Yo. So, I mean, Yo has a lot of gold in the bank. He's still got enough stone for another castle somehow. We don't know how, but he's got it. And he's pushing in from the left side, getting access to another stone over on that side. However, he hasn't done anything to stem the advance from Vinchester on the right. And now there's the gold there. There's a gold Vinchester already took. There's a stone he already took. There's just a lot of resources available here that Yo can't afford to give up.
Yeah, very hard to focus, though. Vinchester loses his hand cannons to the castle because the advance from Yo is coming. And, like, Vinchester doesn't have a lot of space to move around in, dude. He's not going to have space for farms. He might be pushed off of gold. Like, I don't know how Yo keeps coming back, but he's hanging around.
He's been lingering at 170 pop for so long.
Yo's that guy at the party you're hoping will go home.
No, they never goes home. No, he's gonna be in the back room queuing up for League.
He just never leaves. Oh, and he's making everyone else's life so complicated here. I mean, in late game, these are the things you look at. You look at castle numbers, you look at TCs, and then you look at relics. So I guess Yo doesn't have relics right now, but he does have more TCs. He does have more map. He does have more castles.
Pop. He's gaining. He's gaining in population. And is that the monastery where all the relics are from Vinchester? I think it is.
Yeah.
So there's 3 relics inside there. Vinchester also getting raided on the right side, I believe, by something.
Yeah, he's getting raided.
And that's the Halbs and the light cab coming in. Still no heavy camel because he's trying to tech into literally everything at the same time. And wow, this is getting really, really messy for Vinchester. We thought late game the Byzantines would have the advantage. They should have the advantage. He has the middle water control, and he's just not able to keep up with the sheer aggression from Mr. Yo.
Yo's made a lot of trash units. He's made a lot of light cab, and he's made a lot of Halbs. Vinchester just got to the Halb upgrade himself, and really hasn't been playing with trash units.
That's a dead bomber cannon.
Oh, dude, I mean, Vinchester just fights right back. He can probably reclaim his relics. He's got 1 on gold, though. 1 on gold. That well, maybe it's gone up to 14.
Yeah, you add an extra 13.
It's still not great. Close. Like, that Treb could still get sniped. He's got so little map control. This is crazy.
And he's losing this gold now. He has to move away. And now, finally, the Scorpions find a fight that they can actually win over on this side. They have ballistics, so those villagers need to run away.
Win this game.
They're still going to die. And Mr. Yo, somehow, with Scorpions, light cab, halberdier against Byzantines late game, is still pressuring. And now the population is getting really, really close. 174 to 190 from Vinch.
Do we have a way of seeing how much wood is left on this map?
Droman goes down to the Treb. Another Droman falls to the Treb.
Like, how much wood is actually remaining? Here's another Treb shot.
I think there's quite a bit. I think just not on Vinchester's side. There's a lot on Mr. Yo's.
Yeah, I guess
there's wood all over the place there.
Look at the resource balance for Vinchester. 83 on wood,
0 on gold.
37 on food, 0 on gold.
0 on gold, and he hasn't collected those relics back into the monastery yet.
Yeah, he's got a monk, I think, that's going to be doing
How has Yo done this?
Yeah, it's impressive. I think a lot of it comes back to how little Yo has spent on everything. He might have lost a lot of trebs, but he didn't spend gold on much else this game. It's just been the light cav, the halbs, and the scorpions are super cheap. And when you get your opponent into full halb play, the scorpions actually make a lot of sense. I think earlier Yo was a little distracted, but he's the one who has the map control now.
I feel like Vinchester just didn't know what to do. Like, he just got Galleon. What is Galleon giving you at this point of the game when you're severely low on gold? You've got a few of them. They can help out on the shoreline a little bit.
It was
but he just didn't know what else to do.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. It's been such a grind because he pushed back Yo on both sides.
This is a massacre.
But Yo just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
He just keeps coming back with
These
more.
scorpions are finding insane value.
And I guarantee you on the left side as well, Yo's doing something crazy annoying. Yeah, look, he's got more halbs. He's got more scorpions. He won't stop.
And he can drop 2 more castles.
Yeah,
if he
Vinch
wanted
is dead.
to.
Vinch is actually dead. This is where Vinch is taking wood, by the way. This is like all the wood.
Can we get a damage check on
here.
those scorpions? Just on the right side. The scorpions right in front of us. I mean, they have 61 kills.
Yeah.
And so much damage on them, too. Like, that is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it used to be such a positive KD for Vinch. It's not anymore. Vinchester had so much control that we thought would win him the game. Vinchester is attacking 2 different castles with Drawmans right now. 2. He's got Drawman there attacking a castle. I'm pretty sure he's a Drawman somewhere else attacking a castle. Castles still haven't gone down.
You don't care. Yeah. If you're Mr. Yo, you got 1,600 stone, you don't care. And you're wondering how you got yourself in this situation, but you're perfectly happy to find yourself in this situation.
That's crazy.
Vinchester has 1 town center left.
Yeah, he never had the map control. And Yo just kept coming, even when he was down in Vills and down in relics and down, in tech tree options. We'll give him credit. He really stuck with the Roman strengths here. And he's going to get the job done and win the first game. What a win from Yo. I thought he was so dead there.
I did too. Like, he had the eco advantage for a very long time, right? He had the villager advantage. He had the positional advantage. But we've seen it so many times in this Civ matchup that the Romans just don't win against Byzantines late game.
Yeah.
Especially if the Byzantines have more than 100 vills. Mr. Yo kind of redefining this Civ matchup a little bit and just providing overwhelming pressure from both sides. Vinchester couldn't keep up.
Remember in early imp, there was the Treb War on the left side.
Yeah.
Okay. And that Treb War, well, it turned into a siege ram push.
Yes.
Right? Yo never lost that area where the siege rams came out of and where his castle went down. He always had those buildings there.
He lost the castle there, but he didn't give up.
Correct. He never lost the space. Like, he could always fully utilize that space.
Yeah.
And it was somewhat similar on the other side where the archer range was. Obviously, the eco did expand a little bit for Vinch, but Yo just kept pressuring. And he just kept looking at the minimap. I'm like, he's got 60%, 70% of the land. Maybe there's a chance. Like, what did Vinch need? I thought the Drawmans would have taken out the castles. That didn't happen.
They're just too weak, I guess. Like, if you get Elite Cannon Galleon, which is the equivalent, right, has more range, more damage against buildings.
Yeah.
The Dromans are slightly better against groups of units, and God knows we saw it against the Scorpions early. But against the castles, they just kind of pick away. Also, Romans repair just a little bit faster, which might have helped on some of those castle fights.
It's really hard to focus on it, but it wouldn't surprise me if Yo had random monks trying to convert.
He did. He did at some points, and he landed so many Treb shots on not only Dromans, but bombard cannons.
True, yeah. Because I think in those moments, you're always trying to do something, and then Vinch probably had to pull back, and it was just, Vinch just had to work super hard. So, yeah, we got game number 2 coming up.
What a first game, though.
What a first game. Yeah, what a first game.
Like,
what a start to the series.
If you're looking for a series to tune into, this is probably a good one.
This is a good one.
At least on day 1. Obviously, we've got some bangers coming up, especially the last one of the day, the El Clasico, Viper versus Doubt. But, I mean, this one's going to be good. Long first game. They'll have to get rested a little bit before the second one. Do you remember what Vinchester had on his draft in terms of maps? Because that was game number 1. I think he might have had African reed beds in Copenhagen, right?
I do, but I also know we have a clip to show the viewers first.
Oh, okay.
Now, a word from our
partners. I could not hear you.
Back then, a pocket watch told you the time. If it wasn't broken, that is. Today, the Hammer smartwatches do so much more. From monitoring your health to managing your schedule, and even keeping you on time for the next Age of Empires final, everything is just a glance away. And they do it in magnificent style. Make more of your time. Hammer.
I don't know how I would feel if I looked at my watch and Doubt was looking back at me. I don't know if I would be happy or concerned.
Having watched Doubt's schedule for tournaments for the last 10 years,
He probably needs a watch.
I sometimes wonder, does Doubt have a watch?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe Doubt could use one, you know? Well, back to your point before, you're talking about the draft here. I think Vinchester's got some really good options. I think it was Vinch that has Copenhagen.
Yeah, because he has Burgundians as well.
Yeah, so I think he's got Copenhagen. We can maybe look to the draft now and speculate a little bit, but that one draft-wise went very good for Yo, because I don't think Romans was a high pick.
No, in that matchup either, you're expecting to win most of the time on a map like that.
Yeah. So now Vinch like loses with his number 2 pick.
Yep.
Loses from a position where he felt like he probably should have won because he had a big score lead and a big advantage at times. So yeah, that's huge for Yo, dude. Like that is the most ideal start. You have you're out-sived, you win anyways.
You're in a losing position, arguably, and you still win, right? And your opponent is going to be really demoralized after that. Now, my question is, does Vinchester go to a fast map that he feels like he can finish early, or does he go to a slow build-up like Copenhagen after such a long game one?
If you're against Yo, the game never ends early.
Okay.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Like I don't
well,
know
unless it's Copenhagen and he runs his king into your castle.
It's true.
At which point it does end early. Shout out to the previous event in this space.
Yeah. Did Yo run into a castle?
Oh yes. And I remember talking to him after that, and he was literally shaking.
Oh, that game.
Set,
yeah. Okay. Well, it's not going to be Copenhagen. Game number 2, we've got African reed beds. And to your point, this is more of a map where Vinchester's going to feel like he can get some damage early.
This is pick number 1 for him, too.
Yeah,
Japanese.
pick number 1.
So we might see the full wall. This is usually what they do. This is how the meta is developed here, folks. They either go for a full wall around their entire base really early, or they go for a full wall around just the pond here and try and get their fish traps set up. Now, I think Japanese, you'd go for the wall around the full base because your fish are tankier and they can survive a little bit longer against the early pressure.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe with Dravidians, you're looking for the shorter wall near your dock.
Yeah, I see your arguments there. I think because of the player here, Yo is going to want those full walls. He's never a player to play open, really. But it's a matchup that is kind of awkward at times for both civs. They don't really have the greatest knights long term, so this is most likely going to be about infantry and archers. Yeah.
I mean, we could see cav archers for Japanese, right? Although playing into cav archers when you got a big fish boom doesn't feel great. And is that a barracks from Yo going up already?
I think it is.
At home? I believe that it is.
So Yo isn't even going dock, which is crazy. So this is going to be really fast aggression. I think.
Is this mill in the middle territory?
Historically, I think we see Vils come forward.
Okay.
So I think it's man-at-arms, Vils come forward, and then tower and mill the middle. But this is already a very aggressive build, and you already see Vinch trying to wall.
Yeah.
So Vinch is going for the super defensive play with his number 1 pick. Makes sense, but Yo's going to try and send it here.
Well, I kind of like the forward energy from Mr. Yo. If you feel like this is the way that Japanese traditionally play, the one thing that's terrible against a full wall, or for a full wall opponent, is your opponent coming forward with men-at-arms. They just break through so quick, and you're trying to invest wood into your fishing economy at the same time. It's just really, really tough to keep it balanced.
The other thing about this, too, is Vinchester's under land pressure now, and he's going to try and build back some momentum. And sometimes build your way back into a series, you want to find your normal groove. And I guarantee you, 9 out of every 10 games Vinchester practiced, it was a full wall from both type of game. So now Vinch is hoping to get back to that comfort zone that he's used to after all of his practice games, and he's just going to have a tower on his face.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard to play optimally, and it's very hard to feel comfortable right now for Vinchester.
Do these Vils, I think these Vils make 1 tower, and then they go back to the middle and start fishing, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. I think you adapt
Or
a
they
little
just fish
bit.
right away?
Yeah, you could do that.
I guess he's waiting for Feudal Age to come in.
Well, he also doesn't know about the walls. So there's no need for a tower if he doesn't know about the walls. So I think the second he sees the walls, he might bring the villagers forward here. But all the stone, sorry, not all the stone, but most of the stone on this map is directly in the middle there. So you have the shorefish, but then after you tower, you can get more stone for additional towers.
For anyone who's not familiar with this map as well, you have 2 piles of gold at home. There's also 2 hills on the sides. And there are markets in the corner that no one ever trades to, but we have to point out the fact that there are markets, as well as obviously the pawns, making it kind of unique. Full walls are complete now from Vinchester. This has been spotted from Mr. Yo, and he only sends 2 villagers forward, so the remaining vills will be collecting shorefish, and there's the forward range for Mr. Yo.
Dude, Vinch is going for a super greedy build too.
This is,
Vinch is still adding fish, and you don't normally see anyone go above 5 fish unless they're planning on going fish traps super early in feudal. So Vinch was not expecting this pressure. Man-at-Arms is going to be in. He's still over a minute away from the next stage. So odds are very good that Yo's going to get in if he builds a tower here. But let's see if Yo commits to it. He might just wait for the archers.
There's a lot of bad things there's a lot of things that could go wrong here for Mr. Yo, though. If he can't break in, Vinchester's eco is going to continue to scale ahead. You can already see his 200 plus resources collected ahead. Those fishing ships are going to add up. So if Mr. Yo can't break with all of this investment initially, it's going to be really rough for him. And Yo is actually adding in fish behind this. So if the timing just wasn't there, he's still planning on getting the docks out and still planning on getting the fishing ships.
That scout could be super annoying from Vinchester. If he goes to the dock and finds the fishing ships, you can actually use the scout to attack there.
And then they have to invest in a ship, and it's just a nightmare.
Yeah, or send a spearman back when you're already sending, thinking about that forward.
Inch. Blacksmith, archer range, house. He's really trying to keep Mr. Yo out of here.
This is the type of wall on that hill where there could very easily be a hole, depending on how he walls this. If he tries to go for okay, see, that stresses me out. There's definitely a gap. He noticed the gap.
He saw it. Oh, it's so good.
But there could be a gap between the blacksmith and the other house.
He could
because
get
the bamboo, the bamboo is confusing, exactly. So I assume Vinch is just going to check that, but he does wall behind, assuming it's blocked off.
There could be one between the archer range and the blacksmith. I don't think there is because we saw the foundations.
Yeah.
But we'll see if Vinchester actually has this full wall. If he does, a great backup wall, because Mr. Yo felt like, okay, now I'm going to get in.
Yeah.
And suddenly he's trapped again. And it's double layer palisade. Its house is on this side. Doesn't look like he can walk through here.
And fletching is already in for Vinchester too, so he's going to be able to range these archers. Yo is just still trying to pile on as much pressure as possible, though.
Beautiful job from Vinch. A lot of wood invested into this, so we still can't get the fish trap set up, but I think the fish are still there for the time being. Not much longer.
It's so easy, though, to defend from this push and then look back, and you have, 500 wood.
Yeah.
And you've had a bunch of villager idle time. So you really got to stay on top of things. At the same time, it's so easy to just get blocked out and then not have good eco back at home if you're
I
Yo,
think Mr. Yo should probably be sending all those idle vills forward to the middle and just take this fish while you can. I mean,
yeah, I wouldn't hate it.
You're falling behind on eco anyway. You might as well take a risk.
I'm still a little bit surprised. Now, obviously, taking the fish in the middle is good for Yo. Doesn't hurt. But I'm a little surprised that he didn't initially open tower. I feel like he could have been in the front side, maybe, or done a little bit more had he towered. But we got supplies now coming in from Yo. Is he planning on making more man-at-arms or what?
Okay, and he's sending... he's sending the men-at-arms forward from that barracks, which is so far behind. I would almost if you're going to go supplies, make a second one.
Yeah,
maybe. Fully commit to it and try and get in. Oh, that scout is just thinking about being annoying, isn't it?
What? I don't think Vinch remembers that scout exists right now.
When he does see it, Mr. Yo saw it.
But Yo doesn't even know the scout is there. Yo doesn't even know.
There we go.
Oh, that's so funny.
Now he sees it. That's so good.
That's so funny to me. All right, well, now Vinch is like, oh, thanks. I forgot about my scout. Thanks for reminding me. But I mean, okay, supplies is cheap. I don't know how much it is for Dravidians. It's 50% off, right? So it's dirt cheap. But still, to stay in Feudal Age here, to add more man-at-arms now, to now come forward with the tower, it's definitely not the timing you would typically see. So let's see what happens. There's a house wall now, but maybe he could break through.
And that's a lot of skirms with fletching behind, but still, look at Yo's army. 16 military, 15 on the land, and the villagers now are going to supplement this army with a nice little tower on the front side. It's not the ideal situation to break into, though. If I'm looking for a forward tower, I'm not trying to tower on a palisade wall with house wall behind.
Exactly. I think this is recognition from Yo that with the way Vinchester's played, he's probably way better off in the fish trap.
Yeah.
And that he can't let the Japanese sit back. So on one hand, I appreciate the recognition that he's behind and needs to apply pressure.
Still, he's adding fish of his own.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he isn't letting Vinchester just well and away get the fish lead.
So I got excited because the towers are in range of each other, and Vinchester actually has archers.
Yeah.
So he can actually send his archers into his tower to fire the additional arrows.
Ooh, that's cheeky from Yo sending the
Is Yo gonna dive?
over on that side? He is. I mean, the men-at-arms are, as you say, dirt cheap.
I don't know
still
about this
great
one.
walls from Vinchester. Now Yo's stuck. Yo is stuck over here.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he was thinking about it and realized maybe he shouldn't have gone in here. And nice shot from Vinch. Very nice shot. This is, what, the third time now that he's walled this pressure
There was
out?
also a scout and an archer on the left side of Vinchester's base, and Yo is just trying to be as annoying as possible with that.
Yeah,
If he sneaks in, he could then start harassing the fish, making life awkward. Maybe he comes in with some more units. And look at the resources, Tristan. Mr. Yo is going to be up to the castle age first, somehow.
Crazy.
Somehow 31 on food right now.
Yeah. That will probably change because I think he's got 8 that are on berries that are going to move to something else, but he's still got the food income in the middle. He still has access to that stone in the middle, and he still has a decent enough army. Like, he's going to try and break down the walls on the right side.
Yeah. Wow.
But Vinchester's fish trap setup, are those all fish trapped right now?
Yes, except one.
10 fish traps?
Yeah, it's insane.
That's really strong. I mean, Vinch won't need a farm for a long time, and I don't think Yo is a single fish trap to work with.
This is what, angle number 15 that Yo tries to push into Vinchester's base from? And Vinchester has another house wall set up there. I don't think there's any holes. Oh, such nerdy micro here from Vinch. He hasn't been hit by a shot. Like, he hasn't been hit by a shot the entire time he's been taking this fight.
And they're Dravidian skirms as well, right? So they fire faster, and at times we're firing at different times. And Vinch just defends from it perfectly. I mean, Vinchester was ahead the first game, right? Yeah. He will feel as though he should have won the first game. Here, still tip-top shape. Feels like he's in the better position, but Yo will be up faster, and
still
Yo is full map control.
Only like 600 resources collected behind as the archers push forward, and that whole middle area is exposed.
Yeah, Yo, did Yo just resign? Yo just called it. I think Yo just called it.
Did it crash? I mean, you're the one who said Yo never gives up. Like, did it crash? Did we have a crash?
To me, it looked like he typed.
No, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
We didn't see the GG for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, I think what was going to happen there is Yo was going to lose his...
Okay, so they had a crash, so they're going to restore.
Okay, got it.
Cool.
Okay.
It happens.
Okay. Well, Yo is about to lose a couple of villagers in the middle.
Yeah. But that's not enough to make anyone resign, let alone
Mr.
Yo.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay. So they'll restore it after an out of sync, and hopefully things are good.
Yeah.
Assuming we get back in that, fingers crossed, still got to be big advantage for Vinchester here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
10 fish traps, that takes so much time and resources to set up. And then there's that continuous payoff with the Japanese.
I think the issue for Vinch is if he doesn't pull the army away from Mr. Yo can go for a forward siege workshop, as he loves doing.
Yeah.
And right now, Vinch has only got archers and skirms. And then he has to invest in the siege to defend against that, or maybe monks with redemption to defend against that. And that's the type of game that Yo wants to play. That's the type of game where he's holding the pressure forward, and maybe he can get on stone, maybe he can follow it up with a castle. Like, I think with that castle age timing, there's a lot of potential options that Yo can go for.
My concern for Yo is if Vinch says, I'm fully walled, my opponent's wide open, and makes like 2 knights. Like, if he starts to just run around in circles, I think it becomes a very tough game for Dravidians.
He doesn't even have a stable yet, though.
I think he does have a stable. Okay. Yeah, I think he has a stable and an archer range, but maybe cav archers is what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Yurumi against Samurai before?
Yes, I have. Samurai absolutely clear them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the Yurumis have the slap.
No,
their little whip.
It's a... Sorry, we don't look very classy.
No, we don't.
Doing that in these. Speaking of classy, here we go. 2 classy gentlemen.
Nice segue.
Which one's the samurai and which one's the whip boy?
I think the Yurumi has a mustache, so would I be the Yurumi here?
I mean, maybe.
I don't know.
They're also shirtless.
That's not me.
Oh.
With all these layers, I kind of wish I could be.
You just show up with the bow tie and nothing else.
Yeah, that would be a look. I did that at my buddy's wedding, actually.
Did you actually? Oh my God,
Yeah,
dude.
I mean,
Is he still your buddy?
I wasn't the only one, but it's a story for another time.
Bow tie, mustache, nothing else.
So they're gonna work to restore this, folks, from where the drop was, and we'll give you updates as we go. Typically, there should be a restore file. You could tell Vinch, a little deep breath there.
He's kind of resetting himself, yeah.
I find that Vinchester, when he plays,
He looks like
he looks like he's like
Sad.
binging. He looks like he's watching a show he's not really interested
Yeah.
in for like the 7th episode in
Yeah.
a row. He's just kind of he's like too relaxed for me.
I still remember back in the day, him and NBL played a 4-hour game, and afterwards NBL went in classic NBL fashion, went and watched Vinchester's entire stream of the game.
Of course.
And then he sent us a message. He's like, look at where he's sitting at the beginning. And he had good posture. And then by the end of the game, all we could see was like half of his forehead in the webcam.
He was
just kept
sinking
sinking.
lower and lower into the chair. Yeah.
The Andy Tech, right?
Yeah, it was so funny. I remember the game. It was a Teuton's War
You
on
remember
Jaguars
every
Den.
game. Yep.
It was the map with the Jags in the middle, and you
Where
could eat them. Yep. All right.
Here we
well,
go.
here we are. And we are back in business, and Yo still got that army to pressure on the house wall. And we'll see what Vinchester chooses to do offensively, if anything. But for now, it's still just defense. He's going to drop a TC now.
I think Yo has walled off his fish at the back, right? I think he's missing one gap.
There are also archers in Yo's base right now, walked across the map.
Oh, that's really, really rough there. With Vinchester's micro, his nerdy micro, he's going to snipe a villager, and he'll be back for more.
So still the eco approach here from Vinch. There's the nerdy micro you're talking about. He killed 2 vills with the archers already. Probably going to be a third.
God.
He won't give up there.
No.
He's
He
not
wants
going to
more.
stop.
And
Yep.
look, he's going after the house as well. He judged that that house did not have enough HP. Mr. Yo goes for a clutch gate
That
and
was
doesn't
sick.
let him in. And the skirmisher is finally going to be able to clear that up. Meanwhile, Yo still trying to pressure forward, but I don't think he can get through the walls. He does have the siege workshop up now.
Yeah, he needs...
And
Yo
he's got
needs...
elephant archers coming out.
Yo just needs to keep up the pressure here. There's still a big risk with the fishing economy of the Japanese. Vinchester has 12 fishing ships on fish traps right now, plus he's got the 2 TCs. But
Look at the
matchup-wise,
units that Yo has.
if it's elite skirmisher and elephant archer,
Yeah.
that's really tough for the Japanese to stop.
Yeah.
So it is actually quite difficult for the Japanese if it's not the economy that's winning the game for them.
Look at his unit lineup, though. He's got Vills, fishing ships, skirms, elephant archer, 1 man-at-arm, a scout, an archer, a monk, an elephant
and a
ram,
partridge in a pear tree.
A mangonel, a fire galley. Like, I expect a trade cart pretty soon. Mr. Yo's got absolutely everything in his arsenal here, and he still goes for more elephant archers because he has the Boudico to back it up. Gill nets is coming in, though. Those fish are scaling really well for Vinchester, and Mr. Yo is still wide open.
This is the issue. Like, if your army is not attacking Vinch and breaking him, he will just
And he just runs
through
right
your
through.
base.
He runs right through into that gold. Such a great decision there from Vinch. He calls out Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo expected him to back away from that TC, and now Yo needs to get a wall up before he can get in onto the fish. Stone walls there, which are nice. He's going to defend for a little while longer, but the Cav Archer's still roaming around.
Like where
4 kills.
Yo's army's got to apply some pressure. It's got to break through some walls. It's got to do something because Vinchester's just going to keep doing this. He's going to find the damage. He'll split up his units. This will not be an issue. And behind it, Vinchester's economy can get even better. So this is what I was worried about here for Yo. 15 eco behind now, and now there's another group of Cav Archers running around.
And the elephant archers are just slowly kind of meandering their way over to deal with this, but those Cav Archers can dance circles around the elephant archers, especially without ballistics. What are you really going to do against those?
Yeah, I think this does make Vinchester think a little bit long-term on what he needs to do. Might need to mix into some skirms against the elephants. The elephants are really strong in a straight-up fight.
Do the Japanese Cav Archers get bonus damage against elephant archers?
I think they should.
I think they should, yeah, because
Yes,
they got
I think
the
they
archer
should get the +2.
classification.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's nice. Maybe that's in the back of your mind. You're thinking it's fine.
It's not a matchup I've seen very often, Cav Archers against elephant archers.
Correct, yeah. I like how Yo's added them. The main issue for Yo right now is he hasn't been able to actually force the fights with them.
Yep.
In Imp is when the Elephant Archers become very strong, because that's when units are strong enough where random houses are not stopping you from breaking into eco, and you could just move your army anywhere.
Look at the res collected now. See how that scaled ahead suddenly?
Crazy.
With the fishing ships bringing in all that food, like almost or more than double the amount of fishing ships as he tries to go for the university, but the Cav Archers are there. They're everywhere. They're showing up where he least expects. And this is kind of brutal once again for Mr. Yo, as Vinchester will run around, try and dodge those skirms, which still don't have ballistics. So the Cav Archers can just kind of come through the eco. However, Yo goes for some clutch quick walls, and the Cav Archers are pushed into the town center and then the skirms.
Oh, come on, Yo. Don't let him. Oh, God, not your
no,
fish.
They get to the back.
Not
no!
your fish. Well, honestly, well done from Yo to place TCs where he did. He has had a lot of town centers up. There he lands a really nice shot. Vinchester doesn't... No, sorry, he does have bloodlines. He just simply got hit, and
he was
all
distracted.
of a sudden, the skirms and the Elephant Archers have some potential, maybe.
Nice castle there from Vinchester. Like we said before, the only extra golds are on the sides. So late game on this map generally revolves around controlling those hills.
Yeah.
And Vinchester's going to get the castle up there. Mr. Yo still protecting the fish in the middle. That's what he's used the Elephant Archers for so far. And Vinchester now making a switch into Knights. He's going to go for that +2 armor on the Knights and try and get the raids.
I wish I could say the one thing that Yo does that allows him to just stay in games, but there's really no answer because he can do it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Like the first game was a great example of it. And now he's still got decent opportunities, but +2 armor is in now for these Knights. So while the Elephant Archers are going to take a long time to get killed off, they're not going to kill the Knights all that quickly. And now we have a lead skirm from Vinchester as well. So he should be able to take the middle, and Yo's got to get out of here.
That battle absolutely never ends. The Knights can't do enough damage. The Elephant Archers can't do enough damage. The skirms are coming over now. Yo did such a good job protecting these villagers for so long.
Yeah.
But now Vinchester with +2 armor just doesn't care, and he's got the food eco to back it up. 39 on food, plus those 14 fishing ships as part of that, bringing in food really quickly. However, Yo's resources looking pretty solid himself.
Again, like, is it the fights from Yo? Is it just the numbers he makes? I don't know, but honestly, he's still going to hold some middle control. He could still make some siege here. His skirms are going to hold. He's behind economically, but maybe he's got a chance here.
5,000 more res collected for Vinchester.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It just keeps
and also, Vinch has killed 14 eco, and Yo has killed 0.
Yeah.
So it's just, everything has looked so good for Vinch. The main thing is army type now. And I guess his answer is Elite Skirm. I love Elite Skirm as long as the siege doesn't become an issue for Yo in the middle.
Mr. Yo finally getting ballistics there. Vinchester looks like he has some units scouting the right gold area. He already has control over the left, so that's nice from Vinchester. Mr. Yo, with the amount of gold that he's mining, as soon as he clicks up the Imp, there's not going to be much gold left at all.
That was huge. I think like this game is slowly slipping away from him, and he needed that mangonel to hit the skirms.
Yeah.
And yeah, Vinch is he's played in a perfect game. The thing I keep coming back to is he did the same in the first.
Yeah.
But he knows where the golds are. He could snag relics. And Yo went from having all the army to pretty much no army now.
Yeah, and the resource is looking super solid from Vinch. I love how much respect he gave that early push from Yo. Like, every time he gave up a house or a wall, he had a wall behind.
Yeah, true.
He had the tower behind.
True.
Like, he made the realization that if Yo gets inside in Feudal Age, his entire fish boom strategy is completely canceled.
So, when you're behind an eco, you pretty much can choose one unit to commit to, fully upgrade, and then hope to switch later.
Yeah, but, like, what is that going to be with Dravidian?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
It's going to be skirms?
Yeah, I think skirm is your best option.
And you're not going to have gold, like, supply for that much longer. He's still got 4 tiles over on the right there, but, I mean, both sides are going to be controlled by Vinchester. Double castle now from Mr. Yo, just to keep himself safe.
Yeah, I mean, if Yo can get a couple castles up, get to Imp, he has one big push available for the middle or the sides. Because you still get enough gold for that. So that might be the plan now. But Vinchester's on the way up, and Vinchester's Knights are going to run through, and Vinchester's Knights are going to make it back to those neat little fish traps. And so that's going to be another economic loss there for Yo. Now more villagers are going down to the castle, but Vinchester's going to back away
It's just so much easier for Vinch right now than it is for Yo,
Yeah.
right? Like, he can keep picking away with the Knights. He can start thinking about what he wants to make in Imperial Age, and I think it's probably just, you know, Trebs and maybe some skirmishers or Arbalists of your own.
I watched Mr. Yo, we both watched Mr. Yo play in a Treb War situation yesterday, and the Treb mod that he uses is insane. Like, the Treb balls are on fire, and then when they hit a castle, there's like a massive explosion on the screen. It's so distracting. But it's so funny to me that he's got like 70 graphic mods that he plays with.
No, I know, and he switches them up all the time. Like, he used to have I remember once in a tournament, we switched to his POV, and my man's got polar bear Knights.
Polar bears on Knights.
It's like,
so
switch
funny.
back!
It's such like, most pro players are not like that. Most pro players will go for the most optimal settings. The fun kind of gets removed, but I think we actually had Yo tap out here.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Beautiful
GG was
job,
called,
Vinch.
and Vinchester wins, and Vinchester ties it up. And that's exactly what he needed. The first game he would have felt like was a throw. This game was just perfect from him.
Yeah, we can't see much because they had to restore there, so it's cut off halfway, but still really good respect given from Vinchester to that push from Yo early. It kind of nuked everything. I also liked from Yo's POV the fact that he went all in at the beginning, but he added the fish behind too.
Yeah.
And that meant that he had a better castle age time. Unfortunately for him, he just couldn't really do that much with the castle age time. He didn't get the siege workshop up fast enough. Vinchester came in with those archers, which was brutal.
Yeah.
And probably nuked a lot of his timing, but still, really solid approach from Vinchester. Great defense, and then the aggression later, and the eco was just insane.
What I would have liked to see there from Yo, obviously I think a perfect game from Vinch, but it felt very out of place that he went for all that army and didn't go for a tower, and then went for the tower like 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
So initially we were thinking tower before the house walls can come up, right? Because the longer feudal age goes, the more Vinchester knows you're going to be attacking, the more he's going to house wall
Well, he
up.
had the archers really soon. Maybe
Yeah,
he didn't
that's
want to
true.
push into the TC from that front angle.
Yeah.
Because he knew the TC was there. It's difficult, right? We don't even know what's going through their mind until we ask them later. We can only assume. But the tower not being up early is kind of questionable a little bit.
That's the one thing.
And you could have maybe broken through a little bit sooner.
Yeah, that's the one thing. But, I mean, Vinch played it perfectly. Who's to say Vinch wouldn't have defended from it anyways? So, apologies. Production again asked me, we got something coming up next for you, but I cannot hear today. So, okay, we've got a little ad for you.
And now, a word from our partners.
Eek! A mouse! A mouse!
What is it, dear? Why you rage? Oh, honey. That's no ordinary mouse. It's the UH Reaper 250. With this mouse in your household, you never have to be scared again.
Yes, the U-Rage Reaper 250, featuring DPI control, advanced ergonomics, RGB lighting, and customizable buttons, is the perfect addition to every competitive household. Why U-Rage? It's all good. Get yours on Mueller.de.
Would you say that that was like the acceptable level of cringe? Because if there's a level, I think that's right in the middle.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. I like
Eek,
that.
A mouse.
Yeah, I was confused. I knew they were a sponsor, and I still completely forgot. They had me hook, line, and sinker there. But well played, well played. And thanks to all the sponsors who sponsored the event. We have quite a few.
Yeah.
And you'll hear more about them this week.
Down below.
And all below, yes. And behind us, actually. And around us.
Let's hope we get some more creative ads as well, because the ones so far have
been really good.
Really, really good, and they fit the theme.
Yeah.
Which we also fit quite well. You look good.
Did you end up sorting out the wardrobe situation?
Yeah. I think I figured it out. Those pants are definitely too small.
Most of the things I initially tried on were like 2 sizes too big.
Yeah, mine were 3 sizes too big.
Yeah, so
we got it figured out.
It was a bit tricky. Got it. Cool. Well, it's been interesting. I'm trying to think about like the outfits that we have worn.
Yeah.
At all these events, right? And we've had like the villager costumes, the crazy
medieval costumes.
It wasn't necessarily.
I was a hobbit once.
You were a hobbit, yes. And
had the ring.
Was I like a painter or a scribe?
You had the
big hat,
fluffy. You had like the like the Magellan hat or something like that, right? Like you
Yeah.
had the Leonardo da Vinci era 1400s kind of 15 whatever.
That was very specific.
Yeah.
So, well, this is, I guess, a step up from that. We don't have to wear a hat today. So, Game 3 is going to be coming up, Vinchester and Yo, and let's see who can take it. I feel like Vinchester's actually maybe played the better series so far. He could have won the first game, but Yo brought that one back, so let's see if that continues. We've got #1 pick here for Yo. He's gone for the Mongols on high tides, and we've got the Mayans now from Vinch. So earlier today, we had the Incas played on this map to go water control and then Eagles. So Vinchester might be trying something similar. Yo's got Mongols, which helps with the initial hunt, but then also the hunt that you're going to see available down towards the bottom. So the water in the north is a big deal, and I think right now Vinch is looking to deny the dock, but there's also the hunt as well. So when Mongols are involved, you have to be paying attention to that.
Yeah, and you can see that Eagle finding the villager now, and it commits against the scout because it wins the fight in Dark Age against that scout. Once they're in feudal, the scout will suddenly win that. But Mr. Yo is forced back a little bit. He doesn't go to the middle area, and Vinchester goes for a very forward dock on that middle area with 2 villagers, so he can come over and chase this villager away.
That's what he's going to do. That's his plan here. This is a really well thought out plan. Also, will Yo expect this? Most likely he will not. Now, in a 9 villager start,
Here she comes.
the Mayans don't get housed right away, so they don't get loom. So Vinch doesn't actually have loom, but neither does Yo. So it's loomless vills, and Vinchester's going to try and attack the scout and the villager as well.
He couldn't make up his mind, but he does get the villager.
Yeah.
He's losing the eagle, which is kind of a big deal. Mr. Yo is going to have better scouting, but still, overall, I think that's a much better trade there for Vinchester as he now gets loom.
Is that not an invitation for Yo to just immediately take the hunt in the south now? Because he can't be spotted?
I don't think so, because the Mayans can just go for an eagle right away in feudal age, but I don't know if you'd send the eagle there as well.
You could do, like, in theory, right?
I think that's
Vinch,
a little ambitious with, like, you don't even have enough wood for a mill yet. You got to invest in other things. It's really tough, right?
But I think early feudal now, if you would have been hesitant before, you're going to think less about the winning the water and more about taking the hunt in this position with the Mongols. So it's something to think about. Yo has also already shown that he's quite comfortable just giving up water to prioritize land like he did in the first game. So Yo goes out to that very forward gold. He is going to take gold, so that tells me he'll probably make a ship or 2. But no second... I think Yo might have a villager coming up for a second dock, actually.
Honestly, on this map, what I really, really like to see, and I don't know if we're going to see it from Mr. Yo, but I wonder how well it works to just go land, like not invest anything underwater early, no dock early. Go land and then dock after you've got your first few land units out and try and take back the water again while you're distracted.
I think the only civ, as we see the dock coming up there on the other side, the only civ that could justify that would be the Mongols.
Yeah.
But just, if you don't dock in Dark Age, you're down workers. And it just, it does feel a little
It feels
awkward.
bad. Yeah. I don't know how bad it actually is. That's the question, right? And there's the barracks early from Mr. Yo. So he's got double dock, and he was thinking about the barracks. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to afford all of the things that he wants to do.
I think after you make the second fire, then you can add the barracks.
Maybe.
So that's what he wants to do. So he'll likely do that. We still have just 1 dock from Vinch, if I'm not mistaken. So he is going to add the second now.
And he's investing a lot into walls, too.
Yeah.
He expects something coming forward, and he's got a villager building that long, long wall. It's not going to be in on time with just 1 villager building that if he's expecting early pressure.
Yeah, then there's still no barracks for Yo. Just keep an eye on your screens. Yo should eventually, if he knows this map, should be sending villagers down to the hunt in the south. I think it'd be a big waste when your opponent's walling.
He's sending them now.
You gotta get vills down there.
Yeah, I think he's sending them now on the left side of his base.
Yeah,
he's got
he
a
is.
red blob coming forward, and now we have the 2 fires also pushing out as well. And there they go.
Yeah, that's huge. So there's also shorefish. So you can build a mill on shorefish and then also have the hunt. It could be really sick.
Vinchester is housed. That's an ugly time to get housed.
Yeah.
When you first get to feudal age, and he's building it with those 2 villagers. So, oh no, he already completed 1 at home. Okay, so he can start the fires coming out, but still, he's being harassed by Mr. Yo over there. He's worried about the land pressure. Mr. Yo is going to take advantage of that hunt at the bottom, and he still is going to have the population lead on the water. So, a really, really good start for the Mongols.
Is just so fast. This is what the Mongols are so good at, whether it's scouts or steppe lancers. They just get that early eco. If you have the fast builds, you can hit with the timings. And Yo does have a lot to pay attention to here, but look at the numbers. He'll take out the Fire Galley, and that, like, he hasn't won one water, but that is completely... This is a dream start here, if you ask me, considering how he lost the Villager in Dark Age.
Yeah, and Vinchester, like, still working on these walls. So much investment. I know the walls are cheaper for Mayans, but it's still a lot of Villager time. It's a lot of wood. He has to build it all the way to the edge of the map because he can't go directly to the shoreline. I mean, he's not even controlling the water at this point. And Yo is taking the hunt in the south, and he's also adding a production building up front of his base. What is that? It's an archer range.
I love the recognition from Yo, who typically walls up a lot, to see the walls from Vinch and say, actually, let's just be aggressive. And even he also delayed the archer range and the barracks because he realized he was going to run into walls.
Can you justify, like, trying to go up to Castle Age first?
I think
before making anything, because I don't know how much a couple archers is going to do against those walls.
I think you make the archers because of Castle Age. You want to pressure, but also you don't know if Vinch has barracks and archer range hidden.
That's true.
So what you don't want is Vinch to just pop out with 5 archers. Now, if you see that barracks going up now, then maybe you could cancel the archers, but he doesn't know that.
Still good contest here from Vinchester. He's got the demo out. He's got 4 fires, a couple more in the queue. Mr. Yo pulls him back away from the repair villagers, because Yo hasn't had any repair villagers forward.
But Yo,
not a great demo.
Yo has had 2 fish against 0, so he's going to feel like even if he starts to lose water control now that he's at least had the lead for now. Resources collected is actually really close, and even though Yo's had momentum, Vinch could come back on water, and Vinch is completely safe compared to Yo, so there's a lot of things that could change here.
Look at the resources for Mr. Yo. He's about to click up. Vinchester, not close. That hunt is helping Yo a ton in the south.
And also, Yo skipped a lot of army, right? He knew that he wouldn't necessarily need to rush upgrades like fletching or forging. And as the fish go down there for Yo, nice job here from Vinchester. Feels like he needs his water control to feel stable in the game. But Yo's resources, as you said, are just looking so much better than Vinch's to go Castle Age.
Yeah, once he drops off from the hunt in the south, he should have close to enough to go up to Castle Age. Got another demo in the queue. Still kind of hovering in that weird area around 600 food without a market.
Yeah.
Where you're just trying to get up, but you don't want to stop villager production. Now 719. Oh, this. Oh, man, we've all been here, right? Now he has to queue another villager, town watch, and everything. It's just. It's not comfortable position for sure.
I think Vinch is going to click. Sorry, I think Yo's going to click up. But I really would like to see him wall. I like him delaying the walls so far. But you can't leave a whole front of your base open, in my opinion. I think it's a little too risky with the way your gold's positioned here.
Okay, he's dropping off the food. He clicks up.
Okay, so he's up. Vinchester's resources still not anywhere close, but he can't take damage, and because he's got the walls down. And he's also adding fish. So I expect the resources collected to be pretty even. And Yo's going to have some decisions to make. He hasn't made any archers yet, so clearly doesn't feel like he could do... Sorry, he hasn't made any more archers. So clearly he doesn't feel like he can do more damage with them.
What do you make here of Yo? Are you going like cav archers?
It looks
Step lancers?
It looked like what I would make is I'd try and go like siege workshop on the front, go night siege.
Yeah. Does he have the res for that?
Yeah, yeah.
Does he have the eco for that?
It almost feels natural to just boom and not make army.
Maybe.
It's super weird. He's getting fletching now. But it's quite late, and now he's going to lose his archers. He's still wide open. I like the house walls he did in some areas of the map. But is it just skirm defense? I mean, I don't know what to tell you about Yo's position right now.
I mean, he still has the 200 stone. You almost have a completed wall. You're going to be up first. Like you said, the boom feels possible, but it doesn't feel great. Like you're not controlling the game. Then you're ceding control of the game over to Vinchester.
Yeah, you want, like, when you get to Castle Age, you want an instant advantage.
Yeah.
And right now, I guess that is a TC. Because he's unable to fight back on water. His wood just disappeared, though, so he must have added some buildings. And, okay, second archer range is the plan. Okay, so I guess a couple skirms out in the field to defend, and then cav archers is going to be his play if he's adding the second range.
Cav archer mobility, step lancers, really, really good against meso civs. So pretty good against mines, especially when you're so far apart, right? You can just run circles around them.
It'd be really nice for Yo to keep that scout alive to be able to spot any movements from Vinch, because Vinch should have a pretty crazy archer count. Now, Vinch is going to feel really uncomfortable right now, but does he have his archers? Oh, they're in the south.
Wow. Nice spot there from Mr. Yo to track those.
Wow, that's so big.
So Vinch was looking for the villagers that he thought were down here.
Yeah, that's really well played. Did they I don't think those... Did we miss some Vills dying there, perhaps?
No, he pulled them away, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we have only seen the fishing ships and the one Vill go down early.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw the archers had 1 kill, but I don't know on what. Yeah, on something else. Maybe it was on something that wandered around down there. But yeah, probably a good idea to move away from the hunt for now and transition in towards farm. Second TC for Yo. Cav Archer's on the field. Vinchester still a minute away from being up to Castle.
Yeah. Now the question is, if you're Vinch, like, you have to play towards Mr. Yo is playing double range Cav Archers, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to do that just to keep yourself alive. And the unfortunate part is he could be doing this. He could be going one range and just booming up, and then you're going to be pretty far behind. But still, you're going to have 10+ crossbows.
It's decent enough. And you have the fish. So Yo needs, I don't know math here, but he needs to have the second TC for what, like over 2 minutes to catch up on 5 Vills? Or I guess maybe the second TC for a minute and 15 seconds.
25 seconds per Vill.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because you have the first TC.
There's 60 seconds in a minute.
Don't make me do this right now.
And then we do 2.5 minutes.
It's unimportant.
Okay.
Okay, it's unimportant. What's important is that you understand the concept behind what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And so, eco count, actually, Vinchester's ahead somehow, you know? So, listen, if Vinchester has...
I love that you say somehow, and Vodka just immediately pans to the fish. He's like, of course it's the fish, you idiot. It's all the subtle things, dude. He's chirping you without saying anything.
Oh my god, I didn't realize that. It's good to know your observer's locked in.
No, I know he's locked.
So
he's got two things of capture age open, by the way. If you're wondering how we do the picture-in-picture highlight stuff.
Yeah.
He's got 2 separate computers with capture age.
Yeah, I wonder if he can show the units attacking the wall and these crossbows at the same time.
I mean, I'm sure he can. We have great expectations from Vodka. It's going to be absolutely insane. He's the best.
I wish we had footage on him. I wish we had footage on him right there because he was moving so fast, I bet. Well, the crossbows do break through, and they push Yo off of gold. Now, Yo does have access to other golds, but as I mentioned earlier on in the day, you pull 10 Vills off of gold, that's huge. It really delays your economy. So Yo's got kind of a map control issue right now, and it's turned into a bit of a boom game where I think it could be pretty close, but I actually think I prefer the Mayans.
I think so too. Yeah, I mean, 22 crossbows just controls this map for the next, like, 5 minutes, unless he tanks a massive shot from the Mangonel, but it's Vinchester.
It's Vinch.
It's Vinchester.
Yeah. Yeah, Vinch is going to run towards that Mangonel. He is not scared of that at all. And picking off the skirms there. Yo still not able to really hit the best of shots. And honestly, I've seen better attempts from Yo, and Vinchester made it look easy.
And he's still got the hole in his base, too. He didn't do anything about that.
Yeah, Vinch is insane. And look at the crossbow count. It's going to be 30 soon. Vinchester's got 3 TCs behind it, and Yo is 30 population behind. He's got 1 army. It's a demo inside of a dock.
And he doesn't even have the villager lead. He had the TCs up faster. He doesn't have the villager lead. He's on stone there, so he's thinking like, okay, Mangadai, right? That's my fallback plan. Mangadai produced so slowly. You're not even close to having the amount of stone. You have nothing to defend here. Vinchester just snipes that Scorpion, and now he can start sniping farms and keeping your villagers idle, and this is a disaster suddenly for Mr. Yo. Maybe instead of booming from that position with his castle each time, he should have gone aggressive.
Yeah, he wasn't really sure what to do. I'll tell you that much, but Vinchester's just shot out of a cannon here. And it is crazy. We talked about it before. Vinchester, if you look at his cam, he doesn't look like someone who's microing this much and playing this intense.
He looks like he's bored.
Yeah, he's just chilling out, man. And look, the resources are looking great for him to rise to imp. I mean, Yo is in a really rough spot right now.
Yeah, this is the classic, right? Yo is just going to bank on the unique units. Unfortunately, Magadai are one of the slowest producing unique units in the game. It is actually painful sometimes.
Yeah.
If you lose a couple of them, you feel like you can't get them back in time. Mangonel now coming out. Maybe it might do better than the first one. I don't expect it to. Another Scorpion as well, and Yo's just trying to keep himself safe.
Of course, Vinchester sees the Mangonels there next to 2 crossbows. Of course he notices it. And
it's not like Yo can go for a Desperation Castle either, because Vinch has units everywhere.
Yeah, I think
can't even push
maybe he could do it right now because the crossbows moved out of position. But, like, the crossbows are still going to break through. That's why Vinchester's here. And just the confidence from Vinch, he knows that he's going to keep these units alive, and he just keeps moving around.
33 crossbows, and he's making an eagle switch. And I think he made those barracks in the center of the map, too. Now the castle goes up from Mr. Yo. You can't build a perfect castle here, though. There's too much to protect. You just can't get that optimal location, and he's going to hope that he can clear up some of these crossbows, but there's so many of them.
Yeah, and it's not as if Vinchester doesn't have good economy behind this as well. Now the castle goes up. Vinchester isn't noticing this for once. This is almost, you know, human of him now. I guess he had a Mangonel to contend with. But, you know, Mangadai take a long time to get to the numbers, as we've been saying, and I don't even think that castle fully protects that gold. That gold's still a problem.
There's still a hole in the gold.
Yeah.
Which is just concerning at this point, because Vinch has come through there 3 times already.
I like what Vinch is doing to mix in a couple Eagles, but I really think Imp is the right call here. Just get up to Imp, stay on crossbow, get to some trebs. There goes the demo from Yo. 5 Eagles and you're probably fine.
Yeah.
You just probably want the Eagles to snipe the Mangonel, so that doesn't happen.
He was in the market. He was in the market. He was trying to get some res. He was trying to get the castle in the center, which controls that whole area. Would love to see the relics coming in now because he's got so much control. But, I mean, Vinchester loses a couple crossbows, still has 21 of them, and here come the Eagles to snipe the Mangonel. Is that walled?
This is, if Yo re-walls this, that's actually pretty sick. Because the Eagle investment was pretty significant. And he wanted these Eagles to snipe the siege and be able to run through here. He's going to get through anyways.
Really, really nice job from Vinch there. He focused on the Villi, pushed her away. He got through the house in time. The Mangadai are here, but it's been forever since that castle's been up, and there's only 4 Mangadai.
Yeah. Yeah, Yo does have... If that would have been walled, Yo could have built a safe castle in the back next to that gold. Then he'd have 2 castles to get the numbers out. But now he's got bigger problems, and he doesn't even know that Vinchester's got a castle in the front right now.
I think if you're Vinch, this is enough to hold. You don't dive. You don't need to dive here, and then you just sell your stone and go up to him.
If you're Vinch, you have to dive. There's no other way to live. Like Vinchester just can't help himself, dude. He gets the snipes. But yeah, I think Imp and Trebs has got to be the game plan. And I think in the matchup, eventually you want Eldorado Eagles, but I don't even think you need to rush that yet. I think
the final armor upgrade is fine. Yeah, final armor upgrade.
Yeah.
Or just bracer and maybe get some, you know, armor on your plumed archers could be huge as well. They produce way faster than the Mangadai. Still, Mr. Yo has a second castle now north of that gold. So he's got 2 castles to produce Mangadai. Maybe he can get to the numbers he needs. It is a really, really good unit, even in Castle Age.
Yep.
It's just concerning fighting an Imperial Age opponent with Bracer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Yo's army might be better soon, but as you said, the Imp upgrades will probably change that.
And the plumes are coming out as well. And the resources are still looking fantastic for Vinch. He's grabbing the relics now. He could go for a second castle soon. Ballistics on the way. Thumb ring on the way. The university came up for Mr. Yo, or it's about to be completed. But the resources just aren't there to do anything.
He was just he had so much on stone, and he had so much idle time compared to his opponent here. And so he didn't have the time and focus to get that farming eco. He's fixing it, so he's going to be in a better spot there. But look at that castle from it. That's risky if you know Yo spots you, but does Yo even see the castles going
Yo
up?
came over. Like, he was wondering, like, where's the villager going? And Town Watch with that castle will tell him exactly where the castle from Vinchester is. Unfortunately, it's only 5 Mangadai.
Yeah.
And here come the crossbows. So as soon as he comes over there, he's going to need to back away. More Mangadai going for the raids in the south. They're unable to get in.
Yep, not able to get in, which is great for Vinch because he's also able to protect his castle here. You can tell he's probably looking at those Mangadai right now. And the Plumes get a trap on the Mangadai here too. I don't think these Mangadai are going to be able to make it away, but he does have the Mangonel here.
Out, I think.
Yeah, GG.
There we go. Great play from Vinchester. Mr. Yo had a really good sequence at the beginning where he sniped the fish, and then he got up to Castle Age so quick. But it was that weird transition. Like, both of us were thinking, can he boom? Can he do
what's he
this?
gonna do?
What's he realistically going to do? And I think he picked the wrong option. I think he should have probably gone forward first.
I think if you're, like, my issue is he had all that time to protect himself from army that would come forward.
True.
And he had massive problems.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with booming if he doesn't have to be pushed completely off of his main gold.
Yeah.
Like, what if he was taking the gold that was behind the walls and that was just house walled, right? Like the one palisade wall.
What if he didn't have that one little gap there?
Yeah, I mean, credit to Vinch though. Vinch saw it, had to kill off units, push in towards siege. Remember, he killed the Mangonel, so it's just really good play from Vinch, I think. But it's a weird one. You don't typically see someone be 3 minutes later to Castle Age and then just like completely dominate from there. But he had the fish. He was Mayans with time to cook. And Vinch yet again looked very good. I mean, it's been a hell of a series, but even though the score is 2-1 for Vinchester, every single game Vinchester has played better at the start.
Yep.
Every single one.
And every single fight, Vinchester has been taking better.
Yeah, but it was just that game one grind. Maybe that's what Yo needs. Like, maybe if we have Copenhagen coming up, that's good for Yo because the game goes super late.
Yeah.
And then that's where he shines in this matchup.
I'm certain that Burgundians is great for Yo on Copenhagen's.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see. But we do have another clip to show you all from one of our sponsors.
And now, a word from our partners.
Look, you know how exhausting it is to control all our fine electronics at home? Well, I think I found the perfect solution. Elmo, come here. Come here, boy. Sit. Catch. That's a good boy. You're fine. Sit. More. Couch lamp. On. It's a good boy. Come here. Sit. Sit. You're fine. Elmo. Couch light 2. On. Good boy. Elmo. Couch light 1. Off. Couch light 1. Off.
Maybe it's time to try something smarter?
Say hello to smarter lighting. Hammer Smart Lights bring voice control, energy efficiency, and 16 million vibrant colors right to your fingertips.
Oh my, what a terrific alternative.
More smart, more home. Hammer.
I like that dog.
I did like that.
Yeah, that's
dog.
my favorite part.
I didn't know exactly where that was going to go.
Yeah, I had no idea. We have not seen these.
Yeah, I have not seen them either. So we've been enjoying them right along with you. But what a little ad. What a series we have here. I think I'd love to see the draft again because I forget the other map apart from Copenhagen.
Yeah.
But I think we've got Copenhagen.
We've got Pacific Islands. I think.
Pacific. Oh, dude, this is an amazing series. Oh man, that's
Pacific
great.
Islands. Both of those are like grindy maps.
Yeah,
they can both go very, very long.
They're very interesting too. I mean, just strategically. So far, Vinchester's played with the Japanese, the Byzantines, and the Mayans. Meaning he's got Saracen, Huns, Burgundians. I think
really interesting civs there too.
Like I think Burgundians probably for
and then
Copenhagen.
Saracens for Pacific Islands.
Yes.
And
or
then
Huns.
we have Italians, which is good on both for Mr. Yo. Vietnamese, and then Chinese.
So Chinese
is good on Copenhagen if you can make it work.
Yes, but I think what you have to think what's better against Burgundians. I actually think Chinese against Burgundians is great.
Okay.
If we get there, but that's not going to be it right now. We've got game number 4.
Huns.
We've got Pacific Islands. We've got Huns. And on this map, you start with an island that's sparse of resources, and then you have to decide where you want to go long term. You don't see this every time, where a player will actually build their lumber camp in the middle. So Yo has done that.
It's a little bit more common, I think, on Nineville start, where you can just send the villagers right away.
Yep.
And that's what we're playing right there. So Yo sends them over. He makes the lumber camp. And Vinchester, I mean, it would be a little bit harder for him to do that as Huns. I think you want the consistent wood eco coming in at home so you can start the docks as soon as possible.
Okay, so I've seen a lot of fast castling on this map with specific civilizations. Italians is one of the best because it's cheaper to go up to the next age. So I'm wondering what Vinchester's approach will be. Maybe what Vinchester's approach will be is he will try and determine where Yo is on the middle islands and try and go archers there in combination with fire galleys or something.
Also, just to reiterate, like, there's not many fish on this map. We look at that dock from Vinchester, there's one fish there.
And that's
it.
That's amazing.
There's another one way over there. Yeah, it's very, very rare. So the fish boom potential here is very low.
Yeah, it really is. Now, since you start with the transport, you can scout the optimal dock location, which I assume both players have done because of their good starting docks. But we'll see. Right now, Yo, even scouting the island, and now Vinchester scouting the other island. So they're just trying to determine now where the opponent is. But you could, again, in theory, go archers or scouts or something to try and stop the opponent on one island. But you always have the transport to move it over to the other island. And then there's the water aspect, and then there's the eco. It's super tricky.
Okay, so we've got Vinchester building up. We've got Mr. Yo building up. Yo kind of looks like he wants to go up a little bit quicker here.
Yeah.
He's banking food right now. He queues up another villager behind that, but a second fishing ship on the way. And Vinchester now banking food too. So both of them thinking maybe not the fast castle approach, maybe something in feudal age here. My question is, do you bother opening with water to just like gain control, or are you looking to go land where your opponent's setting up in the middle?
I think if you send most everything to wood and gold, you can potentially justify both.
Yeah.
But I think you only go for the land if you know you can actually hit your opponent. Like, you don't want to blindly go archers. And then
you got to scout it first, too. You got to see, like, Vinchester's on a different island.
Yeah.
So if Mr. Yo goes land on that one, then he has to use his transport ship. And then if Vinchester went water, the transport ship's in dread. It's a really messy situation, as Vinch will run into some wildlife up there, and he is going to get.
Is he looking for? I think he's looking for a gold. I think he wants those 4 vills to be on gold.
He saw one. That's a good TC there. Eventually.
Yeah. Interesting that he's still walking around like that. I think he's almost expecting something to arrive there, right? Like, he clearly seems to be expecting Yo, and then Yo, I'm wondering what his scouting's looking like on his island. So he's actually going second dock. But I kind of like what Yo has done, because Yo hasn't seen anything on his island with the scout. And so he thinks, why not just go water then?
Yeah.
Right? Because there's going to be some fish out there and a transport ship to find.
Well, even if Vinchester goes land over here, if you clear his transport ship,
he can't get over.
He can't get over.
Yeah. I think Vinch is maybe banking on Yo arriving there. But then again, just because he builds the barracks doesn't mean he has to make the range there.
So galleys from Mr. Yo, long-term water control. It's not the initial pressure like fire galleys is. He can look for the transport to snipe that. He can get some extra vision as well along the shorelines, and it can help him out against the land units. But you will have to mass quite a few galleys to be effective long-term on this map. And Vinchester is just building up on the other island as we have a short pause.
I think it's a water pause there from Yo.
Is it a water pause?
Yeah, that looked like a water pause to me.
Hotkey pause.
Throat getting a little parched there. Not seeing the in-game chat, but I'm hearing it.
Yep.
So, yeah, we had the 14. Everybody knows that one, and here we go. Man, I'm trying to think so hard right now on why Vinchester's playing it like this, because it's almost like he's been told that Yo is about to arrive to this island or something.
Where is his transport ship? That's what I want to know. Where's the transport ship from Vinchester? Is it in the north? Because if it's in the north, then he's going to the home island from Mr. Yo.
Yeah, he could send 2 archers into the transport.
I think that's his plan. He's keeping that hidden.
He maybe saw the galleys there. But yeah, that's actually quite smart. 2 archers. I don't think you can wait too long.
You got to get fletching, though.
But yeah. Well, if Yo doesn't even have a barracks.
Does Yo have loom? I think so,
I think
right?
he does, yeah.
Okay, he does. You have to get fletching then.
Yeah. Well, there's another transport there from Yo. Yo's galleys are searching for some fishing ship kills. And I see the transport moving for Vinchester. So I think you're right. I think that is where Vinchester will send his archers. It's just kind of crazy that Yo could deny that, but Yo just doesn't know how close that transport ship is going to be to him. At least I think so. Still very confused. Now Fletching's on the way. There go the archers.
From the archers, so they're going to go to the home island, I believe, anyway. They should go to the home island. I don't think there's much exposed there for Mr. Yo.
Can you imagine if Vinchester actually goes to the middle island and then Yo assumes there's an archery range there and there's not? Like Yo would just completely panic. There go the galleys.
This is so perfect for this situation because we want to watch the galleys and what damage they do. They're going to kill 2 fishing ships. And now we have the transport ship unloading and the archers and the scout moving forward onto the island there. As a fire galley comes in, maybe we can switch back to the main view of those archers.
Yeah, we got to see what happens here. Oh, okay.
That's bad.
So he let Yo know about this ahead of time. If Yo sees the scout, he's probably expecting something more. And there it is, Yo. There's the surprise. And Vinchester's archers, which I thought had no purpose, find great value here.
Yeah, really, really nice from Vinch. Great timing, ready. Waited for 3, waited for Fletching. He comes in, he snipes 2 villagers, and suddenly Mr. Yo is off gold. He can go to gold in that middle area, but it's just a pain, right? You want to be safe on your home island. Is now Vinchester struggling at home. Now there's a fire galley mixed in as well for Yo. And Yo has to go for an archer range on his first island. That's super painful.
Yeah, this is really good momentum, right? I feel like the game just got twice as hard for Yo.
Yeah.
Now that he has had to react to this. And what fun creative play from Vinchester. Just completely out of the box. To sneak the archers to the starting island was the last thing that Yo would have ever expected. And Yo's had to shift focus away from water himself. So it's not like he's just completely won the water or anything. And it's going to be inconvenient, I think, to have that archery range be on his starting island.
Yeah, we've got 31 villagers here for Yo, 32 for Vinchester. So the difference is basically the ones that he just sniped. Spearman's going to go down. The skirms are still in the range, or just one skirm, actually. Yo is only now working on the second, and he's off gold again.
Dude, he's just completely rattled by these 3 archers. Yeah, I mean, he should really try to take gold.
And now these archers are going to go to the middle. Oh, and the archer range isn't there.
No, it's not.
The archer range is at home.
Yeah, this is brilliant from Vinchester. This is sick. I love that. There he goes, transporting again. And now, if Yo doesn't react to this, he's going to lose the game. Yo needs to somehow have a good reaction to this. Will he see it? I'm not sure. But if he's already struggling to deal with these archers could just completely end him.
Dude, this picture-in-picture view gives you so much more appreciation for what the players are doing. They're managing their eco, and you can see Vinchester just moving around with both of these groups, looking for that damage, right?
Mm-hmm. Yo did make a tower, so we should look at that right now. We need to see what Yo noticed that with his scout, and he dropped the tower there. So he is okay. And what he can't take easily is gold right now, and the rest of his eco is kind of vital, but at least he's safe with those vills for now.
I mean, it's really tough to expand there, right? But he is clearing up the stuff at home. The archer range does work. His transport might go down. Transport might go down to the fire galley from Vinchester,
then his skirms
which
are
would
stuck.
be really annoying, but it looks like he's going to save that. So well done from Mr. Yo. Took the 2 villager losses, stabilized. He should be fine from this point forward. However, he will need to contest with an earlier castle age from Vinchester.
Yeah, I feel like Vinchester has just set himself up so nicely here.
When does he send vills to the other island? That's the question. Like, do you want to get like a stable set up there?
I think with this start, you might just build a 3rd dock and then just show up with random fires. Like those archers see that Yo is trapped.
Yeah.
Wait until Yo pushes those archers back before you do anything else crazy.
Why is he collecting so much stone?
That's a good question. I mean, he's already archer rushed the guy's island. Is he going to castle drop the guy's island next?
Maybe he goes 3 TCs instantly.
Yeah.
I could do that, right? If you just want to boom up.
I think what you don't want to do, though, is you don't want to give Yo full control.
Yeah.
And so Yo's probably going to be in position to kill those archers with skirms. Yo's probably going to be happy making Navy. I don't think you want a full boom. I'd love a stable on this island. Something that could deal with those skirms and just keep Yo guessing.
I really like the fact Yo brought those skirms over so quickly to this island with the transport ship. That's really nice.
Yeah, that's good work.
So now he's safe on both.
But if he needs more than 5 skirms over there, that's going to be annoying.
Is this double TC instantly from Vinchester? Vinchester brings the archers back. He knows when to evacuate. Unfortunately for him, Yo will probably bring those skirmishers over to that island at some point.
Yeah, that's true. 5 fires on the field for both, pretty much. One's going to go down for Vinch.
Yeah, 2 TCs. Okay. So there's a lot of res there.
Yeah.
There's rhinos to take. There's hunt to take. There's a lot of gold. There's some berries, right? You can easily keep production up from both of those.
He's still really heavy on stone. He's got 8 on stone, so he has continued to send Vils to stone. So maybe, I don't know, like, Yo is a player who likes to go for castle drops himself.
Yep.
So maybe in Vinch's mind, when that happens, he wants to be able to retaliate with a castle, but...
You know, I'm thinking, like, long-term water battle, even in the late game, Huns aren't terrible.
They're not terrible.
No, especially now with Drawman as part of their arsenal.
Yeah. And
you
just
can mix that in.
Saving wood is really helpful. That's just a throwback to a moment from the first game.
In a different series.
Just in case you missed the first game. Oh, man.
Thank you, Vodka.
Well, War Galley's in. I got to say, Vinchester did lose a couple fires unnecessarily. And so I was expecting him to really be able to compete for water. And still, there's some opportunity here, but
look at the stone count. Like, just look at the stone count. He adds the 4th TC, still got 8 on stone. It's still more stone.
Yeah, and how is he going to castle? He's never going to castle Yo's side unless he wins water. And Yo's not going to let him win water.
I mean, he can be sneaky with a transport ship, but he doesn't even have one right now. He's stuck on his 2 islands.
Yeah, I think it's just I think he's just going to castle his island and then adapt from there.
His food eco, Vinchester's food eco is not in a position to support 4 town center production.
I agree. But I mean, everyone's got a market at this stage. That's a beautiful demo from Vinch.
Nice job.
And he does have more on food than Yo does.
Also going to clear up that fire over there. So he can start pressuring, maybe try and kill the transport from Mr. Yo. That could be inconvenient.
That's really
And he's still climbing ahead in villagers because Yo is just now working on the 2nd or 3rd TC. Vinchester already having 4 town centers complete.
Interesting game. So we still don't know where that castle's going to go.
He's still on stone.
He's just going to save that stone forever. Or is he going to castle his original island so those vills don't...
Maybe he castles so he can place more docks to get water control again?
Yeah, but it's like, it's weird because he hasn't lost water control.
Yeah.
So his docks aren't being pushed.
I know.
We are like at a noob level or a mid-rank level, people just mine stone for later. At this level, you don't see that.
Is
Typically,
it just
like,
because he doesn't have a transport ship and there's no other resources to take on his home island?
Oh! Okay, I thought he lost that.
Jeez.
Oh my God, bro! I thought he lost that to the ship there, but yeah, he I guess canceled the idea, and he was gonna drop the castle on the shoreline to help with water. But I actually would not like that castle because if the opponent's an imp faster,
they can
actually treb it from the other side, which I don't think you want.
On the flip side, if you go for a castle like that, you also kind of control that passage. They can't really go through there with the Navy, right? They have to go all the way around.
Yo's adding a stable. It almost feels like he wants to transport a knight or something to the other side. And there goes Vinch. So it's just been a boom castle age from Vinch.
Shout out to this map for just confusing both of us.
Yeah.
The entire time.
It's a really fun map. The thing about migration style maps is that you may see...
Oh, that one might go down. If that only one villager taps that early...
No, the deer's going to block and give time for the other vill to show up.
Okay.
Watch.
Thank you, deer. Oh,
Deer's going to block.
Wildlife,
Look
man.
at that.
Mother Nature. Mother Nature coming in clutch.
Oh, my goodness.
That castle could have easily been denied.
If that was one vill hitting that, I think that castle actually gets toasted.
I've seen it happen before.
Yeah. It's the details like that that really remind you why this game is so special.
Yes.
Okay, well, castle's going to go up. Can you attack that castle without getting hit?
Maybe with one on the left side.
Okay. Because, like...
Yeah, boats are really big.
If he needs to get murder holes, that could be a big deal. I think Yo doesn't think that he can stay under there.
I don't think he particularly cares about one fire attacking his castle anyway. And yeah, he's going to kind of control the passage there a little bit. Vinchester... firing at those ships, but Yo can still sneak by, and there's the docks from Vinchester underneath the castle. So Vinchester's plan is just get the castle up, get some docks underneath, play water control, and make it Tarkin.
Yeah, and yeah, let's not forget about the Tarkins. So maybe with that castle, he thinks he can make a transport to send the Tarkins over. because it's so close.
Potentially.
Can you imagine if that demo hits the transport?
I don't think it kills it in one shot.
Yeah, that's true.
You need 2 demos.
That's true.
Skirmishers have made their way all the way from Yo's home island to the middle, and now they're on Vinchester's home island, which is surprisingly annoying.
There's going to be a book series about these skirmishers someday. And that's just good value from Yo. Well played from Yo to hang on. I think if Yo sees that castle, he should be thinking, I need to get Imp. The last thing he's going to be expecting is
a Tarkin
sneaky
raid.
Tarkin raid.
Yeah, it's not a unit that you go for very often. It's a very cool looking unit.
Yeah.
It can be useful in some cases, but generally not in Castle Age, and generally not like in a transport for raiding purposes.
Imagine if he made like 10 of them and then sniped the Imp TC.
I'm imagining.
I'm just saying, man.
My brain's overheating.
Because Yo's probably going to Imp with that TC. The Tarkins are going over, and there they are.
Oh, no!
Oh, come on!
Come on, man! Like, that's what you went over for? I did not have that on my bingo card, bro.
Oh, so they avoided. They properly avoided the transport getting hit. Here we go. Tarkins are going to go through. They're weakened big time. Yeah, Vinchester also had to make knights to clear up 5 skirms.
Yeah.
Like, the demo hit from Yo, the killing of the skirms. These Tarkins are going to be dead soon. This is a good position for Yo, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is that castle is aggressive from Vinchester.
Yeah. Oh, that one.
Yeah, the one like in the middle of Yo's.
No way, dude. That's not going up. There's no way that goes up, right?
That is definitely an O castle. Like, what a surprise to see that if you're Mr. Yo, as that's the Imp TC as well. He won't be able to snipe it, but still, that is applying pressure that Yo did not expect.
I feel like, this whole game has just been absolute chaos from Vinch. The Archer play was crazy. Now he's going for this, but I gotta say, like, when he had the eco lead, I was thinking use the eco for water and Trebor. But now he hasn't clicked up, and Yo's gonna spot this, drop his own defensive castle so he can make Trebs. And Yo is Italians and could potentially build up a pretty big navy here. This could be problematic for Vinch.
I think the thing for Mr. Yo is that this castle is going to cost him minutes, right, to get rid of, basically. And that's when he gets to Imp. Vinchester is going to have time to get to Imperial Age himself. He's going to click up here pretty soon. And by the time that castle's down, Vinchester will be an Imp, and he's going to be working towards his Imperial Age composition. What that is, I don't know.
Yeah, I think, dude, if Vinch had 3 vills on the bigger island of Yo, that would be such a game changer, because he could, like, raid. He could be a pain there. The problem is, what are you going to spend your eco on if you're Vinch? You're going to spend it to produce some stuff out of that forward castle.
I think Navy.
And then otherwise it's going to be Navy, yes.
I think Navy, yeah.
And so if the Italian player is already ahead on water and they have the cheaper techs, this gives Yo a lot of valuable time here.
Yeah.
But I like this from Vinch, that he's continuing, like the presence of the castle is giving him opportunities, and he is continuing to focus on the water here, so. And now he's going to drop more docks behind this.
I don't think Huns get fast fire, right? They get Galleon. They get Galleon with Bracer and Droman.
I think they just get Galleon. I don't think they get heavy demo or fast fire. And I could be wrong on that, but I think Galleon's
transport?
a big deal. And yeah, and getting
across.
kills here. Tarkin!
Nice.
Let's go!
Another Tarkin raid here. Genoese Expo can counter these quite nicely if Yo wants to transport those back over towards the Tarkins.
That's so annoying, though.
It is. Oh, yeah.
The fact that Yo even made a defensive monastery, and there's no relics on that island, right?
He had to make the archer range, he had to make the castle, he had to make the monasteries. Like, this is twice as many buildings as he had planned for this zone of
look
the map.
Look at the eco for Vinch. He's
It's
40
insane.
bills
It's insane.
ahead.
That's the Hun 4TC boom, where you never have to make houses.
Oh, man, the stubbornness there, too. Kills a couple Genoese, saves the Tarkin.
That's going to be an
Can he transport Vills over right now? Is there a chance?
For Vinchester?
Yeah,
he's
maybe
trying.
a chance.
Look at them. They're trying to get in the ship. They just couldn't get in. As Yo now going for a forward castle of his own to cut off this area. There's the demo from Vinchester, which doesn't connect with that castle and is coming through. As Vinchester now gets bloodlines, he gets the armor for his cavalry. And
Heavy
it's heavy
demo.
demolition
They
ship.
do get
so
heavy
they don't
demo.
get fast fire, but they get heavy demo.
I mean, heavy demo's pretty sick against fast fires. That castle's still up there. Vinchester's going to try and snipe the Trebs with the Tarkins.
But there's a monk. There's 2 monks.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
The castle fire should help. The Vils can repair. The Tarkins are doing their thing. Not going to happen. Meanwhile, we got heavy demo about to come in. Still no transported Vils over there from Vinch. That castle from Yo is going to hit a lot of the ships that Vinchester makes.
Eco is so insane for Vinch, but I don't know if it makes it as much of a difference. If Yo has
like,
water control.
Yeah, it's like, what is he making? He's going to make worse Navy.
Dromans could be great.
Dromans?
Choke point.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the optimal naval composition used to be as many galleons as you could make late game. But now, if you have access to Droman or even cannon galleons with the splash damage now, you add in 8 to 9, 10 of those behind that, and suddenly your navy is way superior to
I
those
cannot
galleons.
stress this enough, how nice it would be for some type of land presence from Vinch. If he could, like, sneak a transport. It's going to be so tough.
Maybe.
But, like, that, like, what's all this food income going to give him otherwise? Upgrades, but it's not going to give him units. Yo is not prepared to deal with any rate on
Another
land.
transport from Vinch. I don't know where that's coming out from, but I can see it in production as the demo connects with some of the Dromans as they're taking out the docks. Meanwhile, Vinchester going to bracer chemistry of his own and tons of galleys in the queue.
Yeah, so it's going to be Galleon from here for Yo.
Yep.
He's got 10 of them already with 6 more in queue. There's a transport. I think that's more Tarkins in the transport. There we go. Tarkin, meet Tarkin. That it feels like the castle from Yo is the most important thing in the game for him right now. It's cutting Vinchester off from passing through the river there, so Vinchester needs to take care of that.
Where is the navy from Yo? Ah, there it is. Okay, it's pushing forward. We got the galleons coming towards. Villagers have been transported over to the island. He's trying to evac his main island, and now the Dromans are going down, and that was his big advantage. Vinch, you're such a nerd, dude. Just let it sink. There you go.
Dude, it's just the engagements for Vinch are so bad right now. They're so bad. He's stuck, and he's like, his dock positions even are so awkward. The only docks that make sense are those underneath the castle, but can he hold with this eco lead, or is he just gonna have the resources and not be able to spend it? Look at his resources. He wants to go cav.
145 Vils.
Yeah.
He wants to, but where are you gonna use it, right? You have to transport over to the other island. I see one transport ship is still alive from Vinch, but we don't
Can
know where it is.
you stack patrol hussars to distract from the ship fire on the shoreline?
You can to a certain extent, but against a top player, they'll just
Okay, because I'm thinking,
Yeah.
if you can't get anywhere else with your cav, maybe you could try it. I think you need your population space on water. But Galleon v Galleon, Yo's got more Galleons. There's Dromans on the way from Vinch, though. His Trebs trebbing down the Trebs from Yo, but Yo is repairing, and Vinch is going to run out of stone.
I mean, Vinchester could bring in that demo and get a really big demo shot against those Trebs if he pushes the Galleons back. But right now, he's trying to repair the castle, and he loses it. That's just bad timing for him. He went to the market to buy stone. It wasn't in time. The Dromans are getting sniped down. The Trebs are still sniping each other, and the Galleons pushing in here from Mr. Yo, but there's a demo.
I've been waiting for the engagements to come for Vinchester. He hasn't quite gotten it yet.
Still
Can
so
he
much
get the
food.
production? Yeah.
Still so much food. He's only making Vils with it.
Yeah, and he's got 150 Vils already. His Trebs go down. Yo still has more Galleons in production. It is quite close, but Yo is somehow held on in this game, and he maybe has the better naval civ from here.
I mean, Vinch needs stables on the island from Yo.
Yeah.
So far, he's just completely distracted with all of this stuff going on. He's not trying to get villagers over there. He doesn't have any value from his cavalry on his own island, and there's still 2,000 food just rotting away.
And there's a lot of wood, there's a lot of gold and stone you cannot take if you do not have water control in the middle. So that's where Yo has the control right now. So now, Yo's Galleon mass still isn't crazy yet, but he's got 14 in queue. So he will get to a crazy mass if Vinchester doesn't stabilize on water. I still think there's going to be the occasional.
Is
True. Yeah, maybe Yo didn't even see the demos. There was only 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
But Vinch just did queue up some demos, so we need to keep an eye on that.
If I'm Vinch, I'm pulling my Navy back
Yeah.
to get Yo to extend further forward.
Yep, right. It's going to happen. The demos are going to hop out.
And Yo just realizes he's outnumbered. He's like, something doesn't feel great.
Pull back. Come on, back up. Oh, I don't even see the demos. Never mind.
They're not coming out over there. Elite Cannon Galleon on the way from Yo.
Yo just got shipwright as well. With shipwright, it should be all Yo on water. It shouldn't even be close.
Well,
look at the food count for Vinch. How's he going to spend it, dude?
I think Vinchester's trying to dock his home island now. So the cannon galleons are attacking there. A little bit to the left of that are some more docks coming up. And he might go for transport ships. Big demo coming in here from Vinch. That does work against the fires from Mr. Yo. But Mr. Yo is still pushing him with the galleons. Not sure he quite has enough to secure water control just yet.
There's a lot of momentum for Yo right now. He still has those cannon galleons on the other side.
We need stables on the island, Vinchester. You have 4,000 food almost.
He just can't. Yeah, he's going to be selling that food for gold, but the only way to properly spend the res is to spend it on water right now, and that's where Yo is dominating. That when you camp someone's docks like that, they are completely screwed because they cannot hop out of the docks without immediately losing the ship. So something big's going to have to happen. Vinchester just calls out, and we are getting a 5th game in this series. What a hold from Mr. Yo.
Game 5, Mr. Yo, I mean, he defended against the pressure on the island from the archers, lost 2 vills, had to make an archer range, had to go for a monastery later, had to go for a castle later on that home island, had to transport military back and forth.
So tough.
Really, really difficult. Vinchester just never took advantage of the eco that he gave himself.
Yeah.
What was that eco focused on? Farms.
Yeah.
So he could make more eco. He was doing nothing with the food.
I think, dude, I'm telling you, like, remember when I mentioned it? Look at the res. 4 villagers before Imp just transported over to Yo's side, and Yo's completely dead.
Yeah.
He just gets raided to death.
But to be fair, Yo was protecting that with Navy.
Yeah.
So it is a risk to transport over there.
I think that was a case for me of maybe Vinch being a little too creative, right? Like, that. I love a Tarkin raid, don't get me wrong. But if you think about it, what did they do? They ran into a demo.
Also, yeah, I mean, they did lose like 300 HP immediately to a demo.
So that was unlucky.
Maybe they could have been more valuable.
That was unlucky.
Yeah.
But even like the forward castle, I could tell what he was trying to do. He was trying to make it chaotic, but I think maybe he didn't know he had a 40 vill lead.
Yeah.
He just thought, I'm against Italians. I need to do something other than water.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a situation where he could have won on water anyways.
I'll have to. I want to ask Vinch, like, are the Tarkins part of the pre-cooked strategy there, or was that just an adaptation to having so much stone?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It was a great game. You love to see how, like, we've now seen 2 instances where if like Yo is behind and if you don't kill him off, he wins anyways. He comes back. That was the game number 1 victory, and now game number 4.
I mean, every single game in this series, Vinchester has had a solid chance to win.
Yes.
Even the 2 that he lost, like really, really solid chance to win.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that it's the same case with the games that Vinchester won for Mr. Yo.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we have another ad clip for you next.
And now, a word from our partners. Are you looking for true surround sound? Well, you're in luck, pal. The U-Rage Sound Zeed 400 gaming headset gives you real 360-degree surround sound. With features like pinpoint precision, crystal clear bass, and immersive audio quality, you can end your losing streak. Get ready for sound so lifelike you'll swear you're on the battlefield. With this headset, you'll hear every enemy approach, every call, every detail, only without the clamor of villagers. Gamers, listen to you rage. Get yours on Müller.de.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Some people maybe don't want to hear their villagers get slaughtered more accurately.
Depressing. It's depressing. Yeah.
Actually, there's a player who played an event recently, 1400 elo, doesn't actually use any sound. That's for you, my friend. That's for you. Yeah, 1400 elo.
Okay. Oof.
That's dangerously close to to being up to your level.
That was like me waking up late in high school and sneaking up to the family computer after my parents
when you weren't supposed to
play Age of Empires.
Yeah.
No sound, whatever. No
Yeah.
mechanical keyboard. Like absolutely careful.
Yeah.
Which keys you press, right?
Yeah. No, I've been there. But I played Age of Empires without sound enough to know that you're not going to hear your wood lines getting raided when you're looking
true.
somewhere else. So
That
it's
is
not
true.
so fun.
My
So-
situational awareness is amazing.
So game 5 coming up. I'd love to speculate on the draft a little bit because we've seen a lot of games here.
Burgundians for Copenhagen, 100%.
Burgundians, but there's 2 big ones on the other side. Chinese is top 5, in my opinion, and Vietnamese maybe 2. So,
I think it's, oh man.
because like we've seen Vietnamese win with Ratans,
Yeah.
but you definitely need Ratan Haub. So then I'm thinking, what if you go Chinese and you go Chukunu Camel?
Mm-hmm.
I think Chukunu Camels may be better late game comp.
I mean, is there an argument to go Saracens here? I don't know if there is. I don't think so.
I mean, their late game's really good, but it definitely feels like you're not going to be able to utilize the map as well with Mamelukes compared to the Custilier, you know, so...
Well, it's mostly you're picking Burgundians for the boom and for the relics. Relics are sick on this map. There's a lot
Yeah.
of relics here. There's
I
like
would say-
7 or 8 on this
Yeah,
map.
but I'd say their unique unit's a big, big part too, though. Let's see. What do we have here? Okay, Burgundians, Chinese. Wow. Okay, so game number 5. This is a best of 5, and there are kings involved, folks. If you lose the king, you are defeated. Usually, we don't see the kings go down, though one case last time we were in this building,
Look
Yo
at
did
Yo's
lose
castle.
his king.
Yo's king is already in the castle. Okay, he's bringing it out. He's putting it in the tower. He's not touching that. Like I said, last NAC, Yo ran right into the castle. He lost the game. He ended up winning the set. But I talked to him in the middle of that set. Like, he went out for a smoke break in the middle of that set. And he was really nervous. He's like, I can't believe that I just did that.
Yeah.
And every Copenhagen game I've seen him in,
He just doesn't
he just
take the
doesn't
risk.
touch the king. He doesn't touch it at all.
So the meta on this map is to go fast feudal with the dock in the north and then go double dock galleys. That's what everyone's doing. Chinese are insane at that. But Yo's got a Vil coming over. I think it
it's
was
being
just
chased by
attacked by
wildlife.
a wolf.
Yeah, but the wolf has been walled out, and look at that. The scout just isn't there from Vinchester.
the wolf
Yo
is still
deletes
coming!
The, walls
The wolf
again.
is still
No,
coming!
Mr.
Woo-woo-woo!
Yo!
This could be tough.
Oh, God.
It's still going to
Just
walk
stop
around.
messing around with this and get your wall up.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, that works.
Is he going to... Oh, my God.
Oh,
It stopped
now he's
chasing
gonna lose the scout
Oh,
war
my...
because the wolf is... No, and then he deletes the wall! Mr. Yo, you need to make the wall again,
He can.
please.
He can.
Oh, my God. This is just... oh.
Dude, that could have been disastrous
Bro.
for Yo.
Don't let that wall go down either. Okay.
All right. Well, let's settle down. All right, let's settle down. He didn't lose the Vil. His scout can heal.
He's fine.
That's actually okay.
He's fine.
That could have been really bad.
But it could have been really bad. Like, you could lose the scout and lose the Vil. And Vinchester now coming out with the villagers. So he's already docked the north, and he's going to go down and dock the other area. It looks like both of them will have docks on both sides, but Vinchester's going to have 2 in the north, and his dock south is going to be a little bit later.
Yeah, so that's amazing scouting from Vinch. He also is even scouting the wolf, so the same thing doesn't happen to him. So he should recognize now that the north is at least a good start for him, and he doesn't want Yo to get away with a couple sneaking fishing ships on the side. Now, I wonder, is Yo just hoping he's going to just lose his fish in the north and then be able to freely fish here, or is Yo going to be able to somehow adapt to the fact...
He has to contest south because you can't give the Burgundians those 3
Yeah.
relics. You have to contest down there.
But he can't scout it, so he doesn't actually know.
And he can't make a second dock with that Vil because Vinch can just sit
Yeah.
with the scout. So yeah, that's really, really tough.
I'm a little surprised we've seen Yo try and go for this play, but maybe he didn't have a lot of faith in the galley war against Vinchester.
I
'cause
mean,
think
he's Chinese,
Vinchester's-
right? I think it's always gonna be tough
Yeah.
to play into a galley war.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe your uptime's too late. The Dark Age is a bit tricky.
Your eco's good though. He still has a much better eco than
Yeah.
Vinchester at this stage. So Chinese start is working out for him with those 3 additional villagers. Vinchester getting the eco upgrades early with Burgundians, and Mr. Yo is just going for a few fire galleys.
Yeah, he's going to make a fire from both docks. And Yo also healed up his scout enough to come check the shoreline, and he will now come check and see the dock. So I'm sure he was suspicious of it. these fishing ships, oh man, that's such a big deal actually. They're going to be spotted by the 2 galleys from Vinch, and Vinch should be able to kill all of them if he wants to. But seems like he doesn't want to take the risk right now.
Yeah, more fishing ships on the way from Vinchester, so he's just expanding a little bit, and he is keeping that villager safe. So he's walled it in because he knows the scout is around from Mr. Yo, although he did just delete Palisade, but it looks like he's walled himself in again. And Yo has managed to sneak up that second dock.
They're both playing like it's all visible. They just have an understanding of what's happening. Super smooth play from both. I would say that it's quite even. Long term here, but I think the Chinese actually have the better late game when compared to the Burgundians. I think Heavy Camel and Chukunu is better than whatever the Burgundians would do, which would probably be like Coustilier and like Skirmisher or something.
Heavy Camel Chukunu. Okay.
It is expensive to get that.
What do you think about like a full gunpowder setup from Burgundians?
Maybe like hand cannon skirm or something.
Hand cannon skirm.
Hand cannon hussar. Yeah. Bombard cannon's a big difference maker.
Huge.
Yeah. Nice plays there from Vinch. Vinch has 3 kills, 0 deaths so far. So it hasn't lost a unit on either area of water. And we have a fire galley passing through to the fishing ships of Yo right now, or sorry, Vinchester. So they just missed each other here. So this should be fish down for Yo. Nice find from Vinch. And we'll see if Vinchester loses fish as well. Oh, he's going for the Vil.
That's a dead Vil.
Oh, that's really smart.
Nice job from Vinchester to find that. He saw the positioning. He snipes it down. Mr. Yo is getting some damage over there, but he's distracted in the south. So he's going to lose his fishing ships in the north. No more fish for Mr. Yo. There's a demo coming out somewhere.
Yo he just completely forgot about his other fire, by the way. There's a fire on the shoreline, just patrolled into a dock.
Yeah.
And as we see Yo getting the clear up there.
I think it's attacking a fishing ship now.
Yeah, it is. So this is going to be fishing ship dead, and then that patrolled into a dock. So an opportunity for Yo that maybe fell off, but he's still holding good control on the, what are we going to call it, the relic pond? Or just the pond, because it's the only pond? Help me out here. Give me an answer.
I just wanted to see you like flounder along, trying to figure out a name.
I don't know what we'll call it. Oh, but the demo, does the demo actually lead to a kill here? Okay, it will lead to a kill. And both players still just trying to remain competitive. Again, those 3 relics are so valuable, and nice job from Yo.
Eco is caught up now from Vinchester. Res collected is very, very similar, and Vinchester's resources looking nice to click up to Castle Age. Mr. Yo should be ahead at this point with Chinese, right? That you're still expected to be ahead economically. And Vinchester now with the earlier eco upgrade, that second wood upgrade, the fishing has just pulled ahead of Mr. Yo, and it's going to be really, really tough here for him to get to Castle Age at a similar time and then set up a boom that's bigger.
Vinch has just had really good micro and really good understanding of the timings. Like, even now, like he's going to add fish immediately on the longer water area. So he knows that he's all but 1 water there. He will lose water there, though. And, you know, he's going to be on his way to Castle Age, but Yo's going to be up right behind him. And so we'll see how they transition their economies. But remember, Vinchester's had Bosal this whole time. No other Civ could have that in Feudal Age. So
I want to see what Vinchester's farming eco looks like, because I know Yo's got a lot of farms. Vinchester doesn't have Horse Collar yet. So when we're talking about consistent food eco, like Vinchester has the fish, but Yo's got the farm set up with Chinese and Horse Collar.
He did add a couple.
So yeah, he's got a decent setup if he wants to expand his eco. The food will keep coming in at a nice rate, and the docks are going to go down.
Okay. So Vinchester is going to have the water control in an area that doesn't give him relics. He's even getting gill nets now in Feudal Age, which is sick. So I think this is going to transition into Vinch trying his best to, as we see a demo there, control the map with the Coustilier. And this is what's so problematic for me against the Burgundians, because you want map control now. Yo's going to try scouts, but like scouts die very quickly to the Coustilier. So
they can run circles around them though.
Yeah, and I guess monks could also convert
Yeah, and he wants to prevent the Burgundians from getting as many relics as possible. Yo tries to go for a sneaky dock in the middle of that north water, and it's right beside the dock for Vinchester.
And Vinch sees it. And, oh, there's a scout coming.
Okay,
I mean,
so
if,
Yo will get that up.
if Yo can get a couple fires out there to kill the fish, that could be a really big deal.
Yep.
This could change the game a little bit here.
I kind of like this from Mr. Yo. This is a really, really nice opportunity for him, and it'll force Vinchester to invest a lot because he still hasn't cleared that dock either. So if Vinch wants to keep that fish alive, he's going to have to make a lot more fires.
Annoying.
And there's a second dock north there for Mr. Yo.
This is so creative. Like that to me was just completely locked down
On the
already
fly.
for Vinchester.
Yeah, and that's like innovation on the fly from Mr. Yo. I don't think that's a planned strategy.
No, you think you can get away with it, and clearly he recognized that Vinch didn't overproduce on water because there weren't many ships attacking that other dock, and now he's going to have 2 docks. And like, I think actually what you do if you're Yo, you just snipe the fish and stop producing. Like, this is not important beyond the fishing ships. If you kill 7 to 8 fishing ships and your opponent has to add 8 more, then they delay other things they need to do. So I think he'll get the upgrades, he'll snipe the fish, and then he'll stop. And this also takes Vinchester's focus away from the relics in the middle and using the Custilier where he'd want to.
At the same time, though, Yo is slower to the extra town centers. And that's such
so
a nice
good.
find. Yo gets away with 1 Vil.
Yeah, let's see if that Vil even quick walls. It is Yo after all. That's beautiful from Vinch. So back to what I said, I mean, I thought Vinch would be distracted, really trying to focus on those docks, but to find these kills...
He still did get away with 1. She went south.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Vinch realized that. He's coming back with another Castilla. He's still exploring that way. He's still trying to lock down these docks here.
Look how many TCs.
What a stack there. With the what on earth?
That looks really satisfying,
It
actually.
does, though.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get off of that.
Let's get off of that. Yeah, we're not gonna look anywhere else. But what an investment from Yo to try and kill these fish. It almost feels like he has to right now, considering his other TCs have been denied. Big boom. So good opportunity here. And Vinchester's fishing ships probably not going to be around much longer. But I'm looking at the mini map, and we've got 3 TCs for Vinchester already with the Burgundians.
Yeah, his eco is looking really, really solid. Also, Wheelbarrow is in, right? He finally did get the farm upgrade, and things are looking good for Vinch. He still hasn't lost any fish, but if he loses these fires, the fish will go down quite quickly, and then Yo can start to maybe gain control a little bit again.
Ooh. And it looks like Vinch is going to hold on. Vinch is going to take out the ships, and Yo's investment has not killed the fish yet. Not a single fishing ship killed, as he has a 12 eco lead now with some really good eco upgrades coming in.
Yeah, resources collected, scaling ahead now for Vinchester. Yo still has control of the pond in the south, but he can't get anything down there to build the monastery. He can't get monks down there because the Castilier are still running around for Vinchester, and they probably sniped a few more vills. He is going out to the center with monks now, but one of those relics has already been collected. Oh, by Yo. Okay, so he's going to get the second one.
Yeah.
In the middle area.
Could get... It's going to be tough work to get it home, but Yo could get almost all the relics on this map. Because he's got the pond.
Is there really only 5? I thought there was more. Maybe this version of the map has less.
I think there's 6, but I think there's 1 in a monk's hand somewhere.
Okay.
So that would be my guess. Well, no, actually. I don't know. That's not really hugely important. What is important is that someone said those fire ships look like you just won solitaire.
It does. Or like when, you know, when like you would, in Windows 95, you used to drag a window and it would like freeze and you'd have like multiple layers of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh God, Windows 95.
Sorry,
I'm
I didn't.
myself already.
Yeah, you're old. What can I say?
Oof.
So game 5. I mean, what a heartbreaker it'd be for whoever loses this. It's group stage. You've got some opportunities to recover, but you really would want to just get the win after such a good series. And the monks, they're going to go down. It was just 1 conversion. I don't think that's good enough there for Yo. He won't get the relic. He won't finish that house. And those Lycav cannot compete with that unit.
Yeah, Monk healing up behind. Castilla is still roaming around. Vinchester's done an excellent job keeping Yo in his little cage up there. Like you saw the one time he tried to expand, didn't work out. Yo's resources are not looking good, and Vinchester's are looking fantastic. Vinchester can click up soon. 31 on food versus 15 on food from Yo.
The fact that Yo didn't kill a single fishing ship after the additional investment is crazy to me. I think maybe kind of back to what I said. I think maybe you just run around with the fires and snipe the fish instead of trying to fully win the water like you would any other area.
Thank you, Vodka.
Thank you, Vodka. Vinch is going to click up here, and this is the moment in the game where if Vinch makes the right decisions, I think Chinese really struggle. Where Chinese cannot compete here is with their siege. So the bomber cannons combined with trebuchets from Burgundians in the middle could be really strong. Chinese don't get bomber cannon, and Yo is nowhere near imp, so he's not going to get trebs either.
Yeah. How does Yo manage to string this game along long enough that he can actually catch up on eco and get to Imperial Age himself? I don't see an answer.
Conversions. Everything that's out there can be converted. And so maybe Vinchester has to wait. Like maybe Vinch needs to make his own light cav. Vinch may feel like when you are in this position, you're just like, I have an eco lead. I just want to steamroll and win. And a lot of times players will make really foolish decisions because they'll rush a bunch of monks, for example, or they won't be patient with upgrades.
Yo has 31 on food, so he's expanded his food eco quite a bit. And now he's adding in Chukanu, which should be able to hold the middle a little bit. But Vinchester is building up towards a castle. 41 on food for him.
Yeah.
More villagers for him, 10 more villagers. And finally, the transport coming from Mr. Yo. So he's going to think about snagging those relics on that island.
That's where 3 of the 4 monks went, I think. I thought the monks would be in the middle.
Are coming down there too.
Yeah, so there they go. Just 1 monk there. Vinch is going to see that, deletes the unit. Vinch is dropping ranges now. Chukanu are advancing. There's no army there from Vinch. He might be coming back. He's still probably thinking about those relics. Range is complete. Nice map control from Yo. Yo's resources are rising. He's got some nice map control. Can Vinch clear this from the other side? He's coming in on the right side now. I think maybe you can conserve your numbers, but maybe you're also thinking with the charge attack you could just wreck them.
I think he can. I think he can. He's got another Castilier coming from the other side. Another one following up behind that, but there were a few converted Castilier. And once they lose their charge, they're not very strong at all until they gain it back. Still, it's enough to push him away.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the charge was used on Lycav there, and he did fight before the final armor upgrade, so that could have been much worse for Yo.
Is he grabbing the relics, or is he just, like, waiting for better time? I think he...
Dude, he can't... It's so hard to focus on that crap.
Oh, there we go.
Get the relics. Thank you, Vodka, for showing us that again.
If you had to make a sound to describe those fires, what would it be?
Do I have a deck of cards available? Just to... I wasn't even going to try. If I had a deck of cards, I would have shown you. So castle for Yo, and Yo knows he's going to have to brace himself here, especially now that you've got the relics. You could have all the relics.
How do you get them back, though?
Yeah, true.
Like, oh, here we go. They're making a pilgrimage
Strength
back.
in numbers.
Just be careful. Just don't. Oh! Sneaky monks.
No way. Get fervor, man.
Come on, Yo.
They're going to make it.
They're going to make it.
They're going to make it.
3 wise kings with gifts.
Oh, God.
Oh! Yo just got so nervous.
Dude, it's so funny. Vinch saw them earlier in the water, so he knows that they're gone. He must assume that Yo already got them.
That's so funny, man.
Well, here we go. I mean, 2 minutes now. This is going to be dangerous because there's bomber cannons on the way, but 5 relics. I still think Chukanu, Cavalier, Camel, something like that combined with Chukanu could work. But if it's just Chukanu he's committing to and his castle's about to get pushed, this is going to be rough.
So it's hand cannon, bomber cannon, Treb initially from Vinch, plus the Castilier as well.
Yeah.
The final armor upgrade on the way. Still hasn't expanded his food eco much, so that tells me that he's probably more interested in the gunpowder first and just pressuring this.
Oh, dude, he's a minute away from him.
Yeah.
Get those relics and you run to the back of your base right now, Yo. You didn't work that hard to just donate those relics to your opponent. You've got to snag those bad boys, man. This is just... Vinch played Castle Age perfectly. I mean, Feudal Age perfectly. He's just... He got all the eco timings right.
And he's still so far ahead economically.
So far ahead. It's like 7,000 res collected.
And the relics, it just hurts that the relics are right there.
Yeah. But
so
I mean,
your only advantage right now is those relics.
Yeah.
But I guess if you lose this castle, you're probably going to lose anything.
The other thing that really hurts Yo is, like, typically we see people taking the stone on the very right of his base.
Vinchester's been controlling that the whole time.
Yeah, Vinch denied the TC earlier, killing the 4 Vills, and so Yo never had the setup there. So Yo is investing stone into repairs. He's going to have to buy stone, and he doesn't have access to stone right now.
All right, so we got the conversions coming in from Yo. He's still holding the castle because the bomber cannons have been distracted, but now there's 3 bomber cannons getting good shots against the Chukanu. I think that was 10 of them folding, and Yo's just like, I'm out. I'm done. Great play from Vinchester. He wins game number 5. Fantastic performance there, especially after the first win from Mr. Yo that we felt might have gone his way. But every other game has been great from Vinchester, and he's just so clean. He's just so ready.
I mean, great signs for both. Obviously, Vinch wins the first group stage match, so he'll be happy with that.
Yep.
And he'll also be happy with the fact that he was leading in 2 of the games that he lost. Yo's going to be disappointed he lost, as you could see the 2 are talking to each other now. But Yo also brought himself back from the dead twice.
Yep.
And I think he can look back and say, I need to maybe brush up on this opening or that opening. And then I don't fall as far behind, and then I'm in a good spot as well. So it was a good showing from both of them. It's crazy, though, that in the 3-2, I had the feeling that pretty much every game, Vinchester was like kind of a step up early. Like, he's really playing good.
Yeah, I think it was just impressive, right? He was able to withstand all that pressure from Mr. Yo. We're going to get the interview with Vinchester for you here soon, but first, another word from our sponsors.
And now, a word from our partners. The rise of modern technology takes its toll on all of us. Hours and hours at your desk leads to stiff necks, aching shoulders, sore lower backs. But there is a solution. Back Force. The Back Force 1 Plus doesn't just stand like a rock on the digital battlefield, it transforms the way you sit. With Gamer Pulse LED lighting lasting up to 20 hours, this chair is more than just a seat. It's a throne. Personalize it with patches for your nickname, clan tag, or any custom text. Because your chair should be as unique as you are. Every Backforce chair comes in a wide variation in colors, including this noble white and gold or black and gold colorway, and the Gamerlegion Special Edition. Sit like a king with Backforce.
All right, folks, we are back here, and we will have our winner of the series here in just a moment for an interview. But what a series, and what a setting. This is incredible. Also, I could hear myself very loudly in my ear, so I'm going to remove that because that's awkward. Sorry, production. Vinchester, welcome. Here's a mic for you, my friends. I think it should be on. Welcome, welcome. A long series. How are you feeling after 5 crazy games?
For sure, much better than if I would lose. Yeah, I'm happy.
Awesome. Well, yeah, like I said, it was really entertaining to watch, and the games were incredibly intense. Coming into the series, we looked at the stats. Yo's, typically the sets have been close, but Yo's typically had more series wins against you than losses. So did you feel confident? Were you worried about Yo? Like, what were your emotions?
Actually, I was kind of confident before the series, but once we started to play, I was like, oh no, I'm not confident anymore. So yeah, that was a little bit tough to play for me. I don't know why. I need to get used to the atmosphere and stuff. I feel really good, but playing nervous. So yeah, I was confident before, but in games, I didn't feel that I have a lot of initiative or something like that.
Well, I mean, game 1, that takes us to game 1, right? Because it felt to me like you were leading that game, and the score was good, like all the factors were good, and then things started to kind of slip away. So were you nervous in Dark Age, or were you nervous when you started to let that game slip a little bit?
I feel that I just didn't know what to do. That's really weird because I'm playing as Byzantines against Romans. You kind of have everything, and Romans should struggle against chemistry units. So at some point, I think you just took too much map, and I was even thinking in my head that I need those knights, I need to control the map, because map control, this is something how I can lose, but those knights didn't help me, and pikes worked really well for him, and as a result, I got no map, and surprisingly, I'm stuck against Scorpion's Siege Ram help, and I'm like thinking, okay, I don't have the answer. And yeah, on this map, you cannot play without map.
Yeah, I mean, it felt, at least to me, that Yo just did a really good job blocking space from you, right? Like the archery range made it tough for you to move that direction. And then by the time you cleared that up, there was another area of the map that had buildings, you know, and we see pretty crazy games on this map, but I'd never really seen that, just like denying space, you know?
Well, maybe even if you don't see that exactly what player focus on, anyway, in this map, losing space is just not having enough space is a common thing. So
Okay.
I think we'll see more in the future games on that map.
Well, I mean, you lose the first game. You then go into game number 2. But again, like after losing game 1, did it feel like a throw to you, or did you feel like you never had as big a lead as the score showed you?
No, I think I had the lead. I just didn't, as I said, I just didn't find the right comp. I think actually I was watching now on the highlight, and when I was ready with the knight, I had a little bit less will count. I think in the game I thought that I'm more ahead with the villager and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, in the game I felt that I was more ahead than probably I actually was, because his score was high for no reason at some point. Like you're trading army, yes, he killing hand cannons, broke some buildings, but anyway he threw a lot of scorps, lose the water, but score was grind for him. So I thought ecos should be much better. I don't know, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, so this game, I don't know, I just knew that, actually, yeah, that's a good thing, because usually I would tilt probably after the game like that, but here I was like, okay, nothing happened. I played good. I just didn't fight the comp. That's fine. So just that was. I just gave myself thought that it was actually a really hard game for me. So that wasn't easy to execute this perfectly. So yeah, the result is 1-0. Let's go next.
Okay. Well, I mean, this game. I mean, you went to your #1 pick right then, and you played walls. I mean, do you have any intel on like how Yo was going to play this against you when you saw the matchup? Did you expect anything different than what he did? Because we don't see a lot of forwards on that map, so.
Yeah, exactly. I was a little bit... actually, I was checking yours game on previous NAC, and he played this map with Dravidians. But so before the game, I was kind of expecting that. But I don't remember the game, of course, and I didn't know how he'll play it. And I also killed Boar with my TC, which is a little bit unfortunate.
Oh, we didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I decided to go for super heavy walls. So in general, yeah, I think Japanese are really good. So here, just it looks easy. Like you just re-wall, and control your army. But on practice, that's super hard, and they need a lot of micro and focus to keep this walls up and don't let him in. And I think I did a really good job with that, and that's what won me the game here.
So I don't know if this interests you at all, but I remember the game where Yo played Dravidians at the previous NAC, and he also went forward.
Yeah. Well, then this is a little bit not enough preparation.
He also got raided because he wasn't walled at home, so it was the same thing. Game 3, you brought 2 Vils for the dock. Was that immediately so you could do what you did here and try and deny him from docking?
Well, to be honest, no, and I don't think that it's worth to hide, because most of the games I played with 2 villagers on practice as well. So actually, no, 2 villagers good there. I was thinking for a moment that I need to send only 1 because I have Eagle Warrior, but then I was checking his Thief. Oh, shit, this is Mongols. Now I need to send 2 villagers and make something happen for sure. So, and that worked pretty well, I think.
Well, I mean, it was a weird one for our perspective, because you won the water, which is obviously massive, but you had like no map control for such a large period of time. Were you expecting, like, you were in the dark for like 5 minutes here. You had no scouts. So what were you thinking his follow-up would be?
To be honest, I thought like as I'm killing 4 villager and there is no good space for another dock, because I'm kind of checking this. So he will play land, and it's going to be probably scouts as Mongols. So that's why I kind of forced walls. But once I saw second fire get in my vision, I realized that, okay, it's 2 docks. And yeah, from this, I think I was behind. But mines are mines.
Yeah,
I think I got some eco advantage, only 8 seconds idle TC actually, that's not good. But in Dark Age, plus 2 wills, and I didn't lose water as a result, so I think... Even here, yeah, he could defend, but I think from here, when he lost Scorpion and Mangonel, it's just collapsed for him.
Yeah, it feels like the game fell apart for him there. And it wasn't necessarily what you'd want as the Mongols, you know, to be so defensive there. So, man, this game was crazy. So, you initially made the archery range. I believe at the time you made the range, you knew he wasn't on your island, right? So your plan the whole time was to sneak to his main island.
Well, if he'll be on the same island, that's only good. But I played it completely different to what I practiced, and this is only because I had crazy woodland on my main island. I don't know if you recognize this on the cast, but the woodline was it was you are happy when you have like 2 woodlines close to each other here. But I guess there was even 3, and so that I don't need to go for the other island. So that's why I sent only 4 vills, and I knew they will hunt most of the time.
Okay.
And as a result, it played like this. I think on early stage, the wrong thing was that I lost fish too fast. Like he went directly there, and the only thing in my build order was not enough for his fire galleys, so that was an issue. And later, of course, I just needed to make something happen on land.
Yeah.
Like I didn't need to go for water. I don't know if he had how's the technology for
An imp shipwright?
Right. Yes. I was not sure if he got it early.
He did later.
Ah, later,
Yeah.
okay. But, well, anyway, I needed to, like, water, of course, is important. I need to fire on water, but at the same time, I need to have, like, 3 stable, 3 range on back of his islands. And again, I don't know, every game, I have smaller islands. That's so frustrating, because why? It's random. It's not like he scouted with the transport ship, you know, and choose the bigger one. So that's a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, honestly, Vinch, at this point, I felt as though you had the lead in every game. Like, you had the lead in every game, game number 1, then this game as well. But, like, if Yo hangs around, he's extremely difficult to deal with, right? So, Burgundians, Chinese, this was a crazy moment, but talk to me about the matchup. Like, how do you like it? Because, like, Chinese are one of the best, in my opinion, but Burgundians should be up there as well.
No, I don't like Chinese in this map. I think they are good, but not that good as many people think. So if Burgundian's not the perfect against Chinese, but strong late civilizations, let's say, for example, chiefs like Portuguese, maybe Bohemians, those will just destroy Chinese because the gap between the eco won't be that big, yeah. So here, I guess it's.
So you like the matchup?
Yeah, this one is more or less skill matchup, but only because Burgundians struggle against probably Chooks, camels. And helps like standard Chinese thing, but yeah, for sure there is no eco advantage. Yeah, even here, I guess I have more res collected, and yeah, usually I don't fight for the right pond, but here it felt right, I think. Very good that I forced some reaction from him. So in general, everything was really good, and once I felt that he invested more and not winning more, not gaining more from this, like scouts, LC, he didn't get a lot of relics on the right side, let it be. Like, I felt that my economy is better and I have much more potential in late stage. I was confident that I will probably take the game. Well, of course, something can happen. I threw even better games before, but here it felt like I'm so much ahead.
Before this game, like going into game 5, how were your nerves? How was your mindset?
Well, with my mind, I understood that basically all the games I had lead and I just slip away.
Okay.
So it's like 4 wins for me in my mind.
Yeah.
But at the same time, score is 2-2, and if you lose, it's even more painful. So nerves still be there.
Got it. Yeah, and honestly, I don't have many more questions because you were so far ahead economically at this stage that Yo, I think tapped out after a big bomber cannon shot, which the viewers can enjoy one more time. But yeah, I mean, Vinch, after watching you play back there, after watching your performance in Wandering Warriors Cup, like talking to you, Dave and I were saying before the set, is like we think Vinchester's the favorite. Like he's playing really good, and you kind of you kind of back that up. Honestly, you looked really sharp. So like, do you feel like you're playing your best age ever right now? You've been playing the game for 15 years, so it might be hard to maybe 12, 13, I don't know. But how do you feel about your gameplay, man?
Well, I think I'm in really good shape. So I hope I don't think that I showed my best today. It's still I could do much better, and like I can do much better. It's not like if I'll practice or whatever. Yeah, I think I'm in really good shape. Don't want to compare because the scene is growing. So I would say that in the past I was better at some points, but right now the scene is much better, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
So in general, yeah, I'm in a good shape. I hope I will be able to show it on this tournament. For now, everything is amazing. I have not handicap, but I guess this word works too. A small handicap that I won 3-2. So gives me more Possibilities.
Yeah, more possibilities in the event of like a tie with the whole Buchholz form in the future. Well, Vinchester, congratulations yet again. Looking forward to watch more of your games. We're going to send it on then to a quick break before we move on with 3 more sets today at NAC.